And yay, we're on air. Chatterbox 54. No talking in the drama factory. I thought that would be a good title.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Because apparently you're just supposed to like look the other way and not comment. You're not allowed to have opinions if they're not within the official drama factory handbook.
Yeah.
you can't think something else, man. That's not acceptable. Oh god.
Yeah, it's so a little weird, man.
It's just like, wait a minute, like the part that gets me, here's the thing, like I understand people being upset. Like there's all sorts of shit. Sauerkraut and his whole fucking is this whole, what do you call it? Doxing thing.
Discord server, yeah.
Discord server, the weird sort of like World War II. Was that how Toker described it? They were making a weird sort of World War II style fucking like battle plans and shit, talking about allies and enemies and Project Mincemeat and shit like that. Like, you know, those.
Yeah, didn't turn out well for the Germans, dude. And crowded German.
No, it did not work out for the Germans. Oh, you see that somebody started flagging his channel?
Yes, dude, that's fucking bullshit, dude. I couldn't believe that, man. Apparently going back to like months back and finding bullshit reasons to flag him.
Well, I mean, who, you know, okay, so maybe it's Sauerkraut or one of his like toadies, right?
Right.
But at the same time, Matoker is fucked with so many groups.
All right.
Like, you don't know. This could just be the fruition of one of those other groups, like, combing through his shit until they found something that they could, you know, I guess justify flagging or something.
Yeah, it's hard to say, man. And they could be just doing it so the blame doesn't fall on them. Like, they've just been waiting. They're like, hey, this is a perfect opportunity. They're going to think these other fuckers did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if I had to guess, it was somebody that didn't want the new shit to come out or whatever. Because he's, you know, it does kind of make sense. Like, he kind of left a little teaser of what the new video is going to be about. And if somebody didn't like that, they're like, fuck this, I'm going to fucking flag him.
Oh no, I'm sure it's one of Sauerkraut's toadies, like or Kraut himself. Like, didn't Kraut like delete his whole channel or take all his videos down or some nonsense?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know if he actually deleted the whole channel, but he was definitely fucking deleting videos. I know that happened.
Yeah. No, last time I looked, there were none up. I'll take another look real quick, but I thought there were none up last time.
No, I haven't checked at all. So if you've checked, that's probably what's going on. Is his channel still there or what?
It's still there. Like, he's probably going to come back.
Yeah. Stenchever's got a good point. We really should have some kind of intro music or something to kind of play. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I have no idea how to do that, though.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
See, this is all some sort of weird foreign thing. Yeah. Merry Christmas, man. Merry Christmas, Stenchever.
Yeah.
No, I honestly, I have no idea how to do that. How to make music play through this. I mean, I suppose I could get like a little fucking Walkman or radio and hold it up to the microphone.
No, there's got to be.
I mean, I could do that.
All right. Yeah, that's going to sound shitty, though, dude. I'm sure. Even with the new mic, dude, I don't, you know, probably not going to work.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy
You should have left that little minute and a half video up. I was really proud of my comment, dude.
Oh.
Like dumbass. And again, like I said, I'm pretty sure it was Stenchever that said it was the best stream ever. That was fucking hilarious, dude.
William Stenchever being sarcastic? I can't imagine that would ever occur.
Yeah.
It's beyond my ken.
I think mine was like, is this some kind of avant-garde bullshit? Because, you know, if it is, I'm just saying, I've seen it done better.
That was after like fucking 3 hours of troubleshooting. I downloaded and loaded up. God, I don't even know how many different codecs to fucking run the mic, or not codecs. Drivers. So like so many different sets of drivers to run the microphone because Realtek Sound Card on Windows 10 hates. Just won't work with certain microphones. And I turned up the volume boost and everything on it to the top amount, and I was trying to play VR chat. Like I've been watching all these Let's Plays of VR chat, and I'm like, oh, that looks like fun. It'd be entertaining to go in and just like, it's like shit posting in a VR thing. You don't have to have virtual reality. You don't have to have the goggles or hands. You can just do it on your computer. You know, you can't move your, you know, characters' arms around and stuff, which whatever, you know.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I get in there and no one can hear me because my fucking microphone is I sound like a fucking like half a whisper going on.
Like, what are you, a fucking ASMR guy or something? What the fuck?
Essentially, yeah. Except then I'm thinking, oh shit. What about the fucking hangouts? And especially when, like, you know, Engelhardt comes over to my house, there's no fucking way if my mic is this quiet that's gonna work.
Right.
Like, that's just a terrible fucking situation. So
well,
luckily
sounds
this
like
showed
that
up.
worked out. Yeah, just in time, huh?
Well, it was supposed to show up like January 4th,
Oh shit.
according
Okay.
to Amazon, and it showed up today just out of nowhere. So I was pretty thrilled. I was like, fuck yeah, baby.
Right on.
And it was like $30 for a snowball mic, which I think is good. I've heard a lot of people talk about using it. It's one of those recommended mics for like vloggers and bloggers and shit like that, I think.
Why is it called snowball? Is it like round or is it just?
Oh yeah, it's just a big ball that sits on a tripod. Let me see if I can pick up my
Does
camera.
it pick up side to side? Like, I've seen that because I actually do watch some of the ASMR shit, like the sleep ones anyway. Like it'll pick up side to side. Like, you know, they'll do shit on one side and only hit one what do you call it, earbud or whatever, on the left or the right. Whoa, Jesus, you still there? Did you just fucking crash your mic? Are you still there? Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah,
oh, my mic
okay,
stopped.
there you go.
That was weird.
Yeah.
I plugged in my camera.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Just stopped.
I
don't know why that did that. That didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I made like a weird kind of fucking robot-y sound, and then you're gone. Yeah.
Jesus. Interesting. Shut up, computer. Windows 10 is awful. It's just awful. Are you getting only one earbud now? Because I'm talking like I have the mic turned to the side.
No, I think it's doing both. Let me see. Hold on. Try it again.
Yeah. So if I'm talking here, it doesn't just go into one earphone?
No, I'm getting both, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a 360.
Maybe it's some, yeah, it could be. They probably have special mics for that shit. Although I was thinking of doing an ASMR channel, like a jokingly ASMR channel. Yeah, see, the ones I've seen that they do on the ASMRs, it's like covered with that shit that they put over the mics.
But you see what I mean? It's literally just a fucking ball on a tripod. Like, that's all it is, man.
Yeah, right on.
I'm gonna have to do a little more thorough setup later. But
cool. But yeah, no, I was thinking about doing an ASMR one, but like instead of like any kind of positive affirmations, it would just be negative shit. Like whispering how
get ASMR where you're like, you're a piece of crap.
Yeah, you're worthless.
You aren't good enough.
You'll never amount to anything.
Suicide is a great option for you. Just really take it dark.
Yeah. I wonder if that's been done. It probably has, but
I'm sure. I'm sure somebody out there has done that. I mean, there's not really much you can do under the sun that somebody hasn't already done before.
Yeah, it's frustrating. There's too many goddamn people on the planet.
Yeah, it's one of those things you're just gonna have to like accept, I guess.
Although I still think Fashcan. I think I came up with Fashcan before anybody else.
Fashcan was a good one. I can't deny the beauty of Fashcan.
Yeah, I was really surprised that I couldn't find it anywhere. Like when I Googled it and shit, I'm like, surely somebody else has come up with that. Yeah, and maybe they probably have, and I just didn't, search enough, dude. But any of the other shit that I come up with, I think that I always think is an original thought. Every time I Google it, bam, fucking million people have thought of it already.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I thought about reviewing fucking frozen TV dinners with Engelhardt. I looked it up, and there's already a channel called Freezer Burn that does it. Like doesn't mean I shouldn't do it, but somebody already did that for a little while and then gave up. Scary solstice meat creatures. I like that. That'll make it cool.
Yeah. So what else, man? What's happening?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's all the weird Kraut stuff, but I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that shit anymore. Like that stuff is just sort of like turned into like a weird, like just a weird thing. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to fucking know exactly what's fucking true, man. It's really bizarre.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like they started fucking saying that Base Mama's stealing everybody's money and fucking all this other stuff, and I'm like, some of this stuff is weird because I know, like, for one, like, Based Alaska is not the most honest person.
Right.
He's pretty well known for making shit up, and he's pretty well known for exaggerating situations as well.
Right. How about Alsop? Because he's kind of the one that. Well, I guess Medikirk. If I put an analogy on it, when it comes to Andy Spurgout, Worski Spurgout, Medikirk kind of caused a gas leak, and then he watched Alsop's video, and that just fucking lit the fucking flame.
Oh, did he what Alsop came up with some stuff? I haven't seen that video. I'd have to look at that.
Well, I mean, if you saw Andy's, the one that he came on with on some black guy's channel with Base Mama and Sister Danger and them.
Oh, where he came on.
He mentioned it 50 times. He mentioned
instead of actually talking or having a rational discussion, he just was shitty the whole time and made all these like fucking crazy accusations.
Yeah, and again, none of it verified, that I know of, or very little of it that I know of. It's truly verified.
Shit, Bunty's on the shit list?
Yeah. Oh, no shit.
I'm amazed. How is Bunty on the shit list?
Right. Yeah, see, that makes me suspicious, dude. Although Bunty, again, you and I were always a little suspicious of that dude because he's aggressively nice.
I just don't think he's as nice. I think he's faking the nice thing.
Yeah, like playing it up more than
But I don't think he's like a bad person. I just don't buy the like nobody's that fucking nice all the time and like not fucking hiding some fucking real deep seated anger.
Yeah, this is true. It's possible. It's just from experience, it seems unlikely. But yeah, I don't think he had. That's the other thing. The main argument I've heard is there was a daily roll call on there. And I don't know what that means exactly. Yeah, no, that's what they say. They're like, no, Kraut's server had a daily roll call. I don't know what that means. Does that mean if you didn't check in every day, you were automatically kicked? Because I guess I've heard that's what the way.
I don't know. I don't. But then it also. Likely.
Yeah, and I don't think it is. And again, because I fucking researched it, because I don't want to keep defending Base Mama if she's done some fucked up shit. But everything I've seen. From other people is I've seen Base Mama in a bunch of Discords. She was never on them. Like she,
Let's use a little bit of logic though. To be fair, I can understand people not necessarily being privy to everything that went on in the server because, as far as I know, in Discord, once you're in a Discord, there's different rooms, or you can set up different sections of the Discord that different people have access to.
Right.
So somebody might not necessarily have access to every single thing, regardless of their position on the Discord, because the owner is the one who sets all the permissions.
Right.
As far as I'm aware, and I could totally be wrong here. Because I don't really use Discord that much. I just think that's how that works. So it's entirely possible a substantial number of people on the Discord thought they were literally just there, like literally just there to like counter the arguments of the race realist, which I like. Hey man, I can understand that. You're not really into that thing, and you're like, okay, these people are stupid. I'm gonna fucking prove them wrong. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That makes sense. It's when you get into the weird like Project Mincemeat, and we're gonna fucking disseminate false information to catch them up in a trap.
Yeah, that was really bizarre, dude. I was like, holy shit, you guys are really into this. Like, you're fucking LARPing a fucking. World War II shit, man.
The weird flowchart shit. That was Matoker made a really good video on that shit. That is good. I'm curious to see where it goes from here, though.
Yeah, I'm a little worried, and I still find it hard to believe that he's not going to fucking talk shit about Andy, dude. Like, I don't know, man. It's fucking weird.
You would think he would nail the entire skeptic community to the wall, like eventually. Like that's kind of what I want to see. Just because. My whole thing is if you're going to make fucking jokes about people, you should get all sides. Like, mock everything, because everything was worthy of being a joke.
Yeah. Tonka screaming in that one fucking stream, and fucking, Andy going off for fucking ever. Like, even a lot of his fans, like, I think he actually started losing fucking subscribers, dude. They're like, dude,
I think a lot of people are going to lose subs. I think this is just a precursor, like a foreshock.
Fucking
William, you really just don't get me at all, dude, man. You still think I'm into fucking Candace, and I don't like that bitch. I just defended Candace because I honestly don't buy. There's no logical reason for her to have done this big elaborate plan to make a website that's pretty fucking easy to make.
Yeah,
you
and again, hearing
save
from
the money you make at a fucking part-time job. You know, you save your extra cash from fucking working a regular, not a part-time, like a full-time minimum wage job, and have a site built like that inside of a year or two. It's really not that complicated. It doesn't take 5 years and hundreds of thousands of dollars to make a fucking website that's just a dynamic database with dynamic search function. Like, you're just talking about like copying what Facebook does.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where you type in a name on Facebook and it pulls out all these different options and all the connections to those options, and you just pick the name you think is the right one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I see. Yeah, again, Candace seems to be a fucking petty, fucking childish, fucking bitch. A cunt.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, everything I've heard from people that know, or like, you know, people that are like IT type people, have said, no, this wasn't a fucking actual fucking doxing thing. You know, it wasn't really a database. You know.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And I think her original idea was a doxing website, and it just got fucked essentially because everybody was like, wait, no, that's a terrible plan.
Yeah,
like everybody on every side was just like, no, fuck this bitch, let's shut her down 5 years ago, and they shut her down. Yeah, but whatever, man. You know, I mean, you reap what you sow. Eventually, sooner or later, people are going to come back, and that's going to bite you in the ass in the end.
Yeah, but again, with the base bombing thing, again, I'm aware that I'm biased, but I still, again, I've been actively, well, not super actively, but I've been definitely searching out to see if she's actually connected, or if it's the spurious fucking shit, you know? Because again, I don't want to carry water for someone that's actually been doing really fucked up shit. Now, and again, it's not tits, you know, like I don't know, man. I like Base Mama, you know, but I don't have any sexual attraction to her, really. She's got my mom's nose. Reminds me of my fucking mom, and I don't have any hangups or mommy issues, right? So I'm not fucking attracted to her like that. But again, I haven't seen the fakeness. I've met her, you know, again, hung out with her a few times, her fiance, other people. I just haven't seen it.
I think she has the ability to be petty and somewhat spiteful if she wants to be, depending on the situation.
That's true. You know, she definitely has anger issues, dude.
I can see her not having a real interest in dealing with the race realists when it comes to setting up a convention.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's very likely that they were invited and then disinvited. I mean, I've already seen.
Well, they just didn't. It's the same thing as Andy. It's the same thing that I see with Andy. They didn't get the panel they want. Because I watched Allsup's video. That's the other thing. Like, fucking Andy kept bitching about fucking this video. Yeah. So I watched it, and again, pretty much all of it. Because there's a part on there where he's like, yeah, I want to do this, you know, white identitarian thing. And she came back with something along the lines of, well, you guys aren't really oppressed. Your free speech and all that's not really in fucking danger. Which I kind of disagree with myself. But it's not that horrible of a fucking counter. You know what I mean? And he took that as, oh, they're just shutting us down.
I'm just saying, let me get to this part real quick. I'm just saying, like, Base, or, you know, it was Base Velasquez said that she had disinvited a bunch of people and he had a list. And I've already seen at least Millennial Woes at one point say, like, I hadn't even committed to going. I hadn't made any sort of attempt to be invited in the first place. So I can't have been disinvited. Right, so it makes me wonder, you know, how accurate that is. You know, I mean, some of the other people might have been disinvited. I don't know, but I would have to see the reason.
Yeah, and especially considering those guys' response to not getting the panel they wanted, and then seeing Roaming Millennial's response to not getting the panel she wanted. I'm like, you guys are just immature little fucking pricks. Like, you're fucking egomaniacs that are just spurging out because you didn't get your way. You're fucking holding your breath.
Well, and what's the reason, though? Like, is it because there's already other panels like that and they just don't want to have, like repeat the same exact thing ad nauseum? Yeah,
and that's the other thing.
We're talking a little bit about it, yeah.
You know, there's...
I gotta give Jasmine a wrench here.
Who's Jasmine?
There we go. Jasmine just joined our chat.
Oh, okay. No, she was saying my name. Like, I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah. It was a joke in the chat. She was.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, dude. Yeah, I'm retired, dude, from that shit, and I think I've mentioned that before.
Yeah. Oh, Purple Skittles.
My junk is for again, ornamental purposes only at this point, dude.
Yeah. But anyway, the thing with Kilroy is I think Base Mama just hasn't been out and upfront enough about communicating what's going on.
Yeah, that's I don't think everybody, you, me, fucking Tim Cronsel, all of us kind of acknowledge that the communication has been monumentally fucking bad. You can't really deny that.
Yeah.
Because I remember even before any of this shit, I'm like, why are we not hearing much about Kilroy? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they go weeks and weeks without putting anything out about it.
Well, I think it's partly because, people talked about the contracts as if that was like some absurd concept. And while I think certain parts of the contract can be considered overreaching, generally when I have an option to sign a contract, I can fucking negotiate.
Right.
Because I'm an adult and I know how that works.
Right. Yeah.
So if you receive the contract and you say, you know what, I'd really like to go here, but this and this don't work for me. And then you talk to the person who you're negotiating with, because that's the whole point of having a contract, and say, look, I'm fine with this and this, but this isn't going to work for me. What can we do? Right, and then you bargain back and forth. You get that worked out. That's how you get speaking fees as well. That's how you get paid in a lot of fucking situations. As you negotiate.
Yeah, I think it was you that was talking about how Kevin Smith used to just fucking show up for fucking
exactly. Yeah, he used to just show up at colleges for free and never realized that like a 20 for gas was not all that you'd be asking for.
Right. Yeah. Although they did kind of put it out there that they couldn't really afford to pay anybody. And again, we don't really know because they can't talk about what they fucking pay and what they don't pay.
Well, I think they should put out some of the finances. I think they should clear up some of the mess by just like saying, hey, look, this is what we're spending on this, and this. This is how much it costs. $85,000 is not a lot to put on a convention.
Yeah,
it's a very small amount of money for that.
Because I think Sister Danger was like, look, when we're all done, I'll put all this shit out there. I'll put out what fucking we spent where. But again, they may not be able to. I don't know. Again, legally, I don't know.
Well, no. Here's the thing. There's going to be a lot of stuff where this is like an estimated cost, and with the amount of like anger and stuff that's going on, I don't think people are going to accept that kind of thing. They're going to pick it apart ad nauseum and come up with all sorts of wild, crazy fucking shit in their head and decide that that's what's going on.
Yeah, and a lot of people are treating these assumptions and shit as fact, dude, which really bugs me, dude. It doesn't surprise me because those guys that are, especially like Andy and them, just seem incredibly immature anyway, so I'm not surprised.
But they could put out some of this stuff and just say, hey, look, this is what we're spending on this. This is what we're spending on that. This is going towards spending for, because I think they're trying to pay. It seemed like that they were trying to pay, because that stream just sort of fucking tailspun out. But it seemed like they were trying to pay for lodging and food and some of the travel costs as much as they could afford for all their speakers.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And that adds up pretty quick, especially if somebody's flying on a plane to get there instead of driving, or these things add up pretty quick. Plus there's a lot of security, and they're having some Muslim apostates, I think it is. Speaking, which means they have to have a little extra security for probably getting them to and from hotels and stuff like that.
No, it's expensive, and it was one of the nice things I saw on one of the cunt streams where they actually acknowledged that. Wrath of Controversy was like, no, I work in security. I'm telling you, that shit gets expensive really fucking quick. Which was nice because most of them are on the.
I know how much they make.
And again, they charge what that person's getting paid and what they're charging you is two different things as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost double. Whatever that person's getting paid to do it, they're charging the person putting on the event like double that, almost double.
Oh yeah, well it's like you pay what is it, on average of like $60 to $90 an hour for labor when you're getting a car fixed, but the mechanic's only making like 20 or 30. The rest of that is pure profit for the shop owner. Well, I mean, it goes to pay the overhead and all that other stuff, but
right.
Yeah. Oh, Mad Metal security pays well, armed security pays even better. Yeah, that's absolutely true. If you want to carry a gun as a security guard, you can make pretty damn good money.
Yeah. All right, Stenchever. I don't know what you're alluding to with saying I like the peanut butter, dude, but I don't think I like it.
Williams get a little weird in the chat there. You get a little interesting. Although I do agree with Mad Metal. I think you should definitely have a panel on vivicidal agenda. I would wholeheartedly promote that, sir.
Right. Yeah, do it. But yeah, and you know what? It kind of bugged me about Medicare, because that's one of the things he did on that original, the infamous stream where he came on Andy's stream and punked him and fucking did him 180 on him. He was like, "Oh, it's 40,000 for security," and he's like, "I'm guessing 39,900 is going to, or $10 is going to security, and whatever is going to somebody's pockets." Like, dude, how can you be that ignorant? Like, I find it hard to believe that he doesn't know that.
Oh, Medicare's a troll. Like, here's the thing that I don't understand where what's going on with this whole thing with Medicare getting involved with the skeptic community. Whether he burns anybody or not, who gives a shit?
Right.
But at the end of the day, he's a troll. He's just in this for his own entertainment. He's not some sort of paragon of virtue or honesty.
Yeah, I guess that's my issue. Is like he's played a big shit up. Yeah, my issue with him this time is like he's had a significant effect on affecting a real world thing like this event. You know what I mean? So, but again, I've enjoyed him taking other people's shit down so much. Like I can't really fucking. It would be pretty hypocritical of me saying like, "Hey, you're fucking with something I like, so fucking now I'm mad." You know, that would be a little hypocritical, but I just wish he'd be a little more honest on this.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't understand why, like, Worski and all them are like, he's gonna fix it all. He's taking down the bad guy. I'm like, that's not what he's doing. He's just making funny videos.
Yeah, like, dude, you follow him on Twitter and you see how often he fucks with people. He was just doing it the other day to a guy that called him a snowflake or something, and he started fucking telling him how that was actually a racist term, and the guy didn't realize the whole time. Like, dude, he's trolling you. How do you not realize Medicare's fucking with you?
Oh, yeah.
Like, even if you don't know him, like, look at what he's saying. Look, it's obvious he's fucking with you. And the guy just never realized it. Yeah, he's fucking great at it, dude. He's fucking probably the best on the goddamn planet, to be honest with you. He's fucking, yeah, it's just fun. It's funny to watch, you know, the other shit. But I couldn't believe how readily Andy just accepted everything he said as fucking concrete fact, dude. You know, and
there's so much data to parse, though. I mean, you're talking about, you know, however many pages from the Discord that people managed to save before everything was deleted, how many streams and tweets and all this other stuff that got put out that that you have to go through before it was deleted. I mean, this whole thing is going to be, I'm sure it's going to be fodder for like at least a couple of weeks, which is pretty unusual for this kind of thing. Usually it's big for like a week and then it's done. I think this might actually last like 2 or 3 weeks. The Kraut and T drama.
Right. Yeah, it's the connection is it's again tenuous, dude. It's not, and again, I just need to see something concrete, man. Like, show me where she docks. Other thing, before I forget again, I think Medicare's motivation, a lot of it, like, he might actually want to trash shit. And again, he's really nihilistic. He's a fucking troll. He might want to trash it and think that's fucking hilarious to fucking trash this event to oblivion. But I think what did it was that bitch Haram Deseret or whatever pissed him off, dude.
Yeah.
By talking shit. I think was his main motivation for getting involved.
Look at some of the stuff he's gone after before. Like, who gives a shit about a bunch of furries who are into diapers? Like, nobody cares. They're not like some sort of evil masterminds or some shit. He's just making fun of them because they're fucking hilarious. I mean, let's be honest. A grown-ass man who wants to pretend to be a baby in a diaper while wearing a fursuit, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
You're gonna laugh at that. That guy's not hurting really anybody, but, you know, it's funny to fucking watch.
Yeah, this is true, man. This is true.
Although the inflation ones, those were a little weird.
The which one?
The inflation fetish people. That was a little.
Is that the bike pump thing?
Yeah. Where the people have actually tried it and ended up like severely injured and dead. It's like, really?
Dude. Yeah. It's yeah. No, those are fucking. They're fucking hilarious, dude. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Although, dude, I don't know if you've noticed this. Do you follow Medicare on Twitter?
Yeah, we was Matoker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. His fans like really like to repeat all that old shit. Like they fucking are nonstop, dude. Like they'll mention the fucking glow in the dark CIA niggers thing. They'll mention the bike pumps. They'll mention the fucking the Rick and Morty thing, because he went in on Rick and Morty, which I fucking totally agreed with. Like I like the show. Obviously, I've told you about it. I've seen it already going downhill though. The fucking the shit that the Rick and Morty fans about. You got to have a high IQ to fucking understand this shit. It's ridiculous, and it really deserves to be fucking mocked, pretty mercilessly. But yeah, that's another one. They constantly throw that out. Like they're constantly referencing, like ad nauseum, any of the old shit that Medicre's covered. Right. Dude. It's a little weird.
Dude, the audiences on YouTube really want the same shit over and over for a long time.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
I know I'm sounding awful because I'm sick, but.
Yeah, no, we've talked about it before about how like, hey, maybe you should, Bering and Sargon and them should stop responding to fucking Christy Winters and these fucking idiots. But again, we're kind of like, yeah, well, maybe their patrons or whoever still want to fucking see it, so they have to keep doing it. They're kind of locked in. Although Bering did make a video where he said he was done with her, so I hope he fucking holds to that.
Oh well, I mean, for now.
Yeah, I've been suggesting it for fucking months now.
Christy Winters and her ilk probably recognize that, like, half of their fucking relevance is in fucking with the skeptics. Like these two,
it's way more than
have to clash in order to get as much interest they have. Like it's way
more than half, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of them for sure. Like Steve Shives is incredibly boring without the back and forth with the social justice and the skeptic community.
Go look at their views on anything that's not Bering or Sargon, and it's fucking like a 90% drop in fucking.
Oh, is it really?
It's really ridiculous, dude. It's really pronounced. If it's not about Bering or Sargon or fucking whoever else, dude, she gets almost no views. Christy Winters anyway. Same with Shives. Like if he doesn't mention Trump or something like that, or the other guys, he gets like maybe a few hundred views. Like it's really ridiculously low. That's why I'm sure she freaked out, and I'm pretty sure she did. I don't follow her because she's just nuts. I can't do it. But apparently she really fucking spurred out when she fucking saw that video and was trying to attack him. Yeah, and I think she was trying to attack him and bait him into fucking coming back still, because I think she knows her relevance is totally tied, almost exclusively tied to them responding to her fucking lunacy.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. But I'm sure that that's just sort of like, I don't know, like a dynamic that happens in probably other things too, though. I'm sure it's not just those two communities. I mean,
no, realistically, the skeptic. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, realistically, like Democrats and Republicans are essentially the same fucking thing when you get to the level of like the actual politicians.
Oh, right. Yeah.
There's no real difference between them. It's just they maintain relevance, and people keep thinking that it matters which side you vote for because they keep fighting back and forth over shit that really is inconsequential.
Yeah. No, that's kind of the plan, because again, they're all kind of ruled by the corporations, in a large part. But yeah, they want us fighting over this stupid shit like fucking gender, race, fucking whatever. So we're kind of distracted from it.
What kind of gets me is back to the skeptic community a little bit. Hold on a sec.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What goes back to the skeptic community a little bit is they don't seem to be willing to shift in the right direction. They're shifting towards like eating themselves.
Yeah, they're going to drama. They're going to fucking drama.
Instead of shifting towards saying like, hey, you guys, maybe we should be looking at this whole political system and thinking maybe it's not just all about being a Republican. Right. Because it seems to me like suddenly it's like conservative is the only right answer to anything, and it's like, well, maybe that's not necessarily the case. I mean,
maybe you should be attacking this and pointing out what the fuck is wrong with the overall system, and they don't really do that.
Democrats, Republicans aside, let's look at which politicians actually do what they promise, and which ones are genuinely trying to protect like our rights in the government, and which ones are trying to take it away.
Right.
And instead of fixating on like either you're conservative or you're with the bad guys, or you're either fucking ANCAP or you don't know what you're talking about. You know, like
right.
that kind of stuff gets sillier and sillier, and it's nothing is that fucking black and white.
Yeah, and again, I don't think the politicians really give a shit about any of that.
Yeah. When
they care about lining their pockets.
Yeah, nothing can be that black and white. It's just never that simple. I mean, sometimes in a great once in a great while you get the exception to the rule where it's like, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer was an evil fuck, and it's really black and white. But most of the time, you're dealing with like, sort of what's that guy, the one that shot the kid with the hoodie and the Skittles?
Yeah, Zimmerman.
Yeah, like the Zimmerman thing. Like, there's a lot of fucking nuance to that case. Maybe he shouldn't have been fighting that kid because maybe he should have stopped when the police or the 911 operator said, all right, we're going to deal with it. You need to stop following him.
Right.
You know, like that was a point where he probably should have walked away. But at the same time, it's entirely possible that he kept following and that kid ended up attacking him and he had to defend himself.
Yeah, it's a lot of weirdness, dude.
There's a lot of stuff we don't know because nobody really witnessed any of this except for Zimmerman. So it's all based on his word for the most part.
Yeah.
But that's not.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Not a black and white thing. You're not like he's innocent or he's guilty. You're like, well, I mean, he was found innocent, but at the same time, he was probably guilty of a lot of bad judgment all the way up until that point.
Right. Yeah, he was fucking not minding his own business, dude. He was fucking following a kid around. Yeah, a lot of shit like that, dude.
I gotta say, if some dude was following me for like fucking an hour, I'd start to have a real problem with him.
Yeah, I'd definitely confront him. I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Can I help you with something? And there's very possibility that that's what happened. And maybe he either said nothing or he started talking shit back and it gets kind of escalated from there.
Yeah. I mean, it could have gone any which way. That's what I'm saying. It's super fucking, there's no black and white there.
Yeah, I just find it hard to believe because what is he saying? That the kid just suddenly attacked him? Is that what he said?
Well,
I didn't follow the case that closely.
From what I understand, his claim is he was following the kid. He called the police because the kid was going through yards and he thought he was going to break into somebody's house. The kid was people claim the kid just cut through yards as a normal part of like getting back and forth from his house to the convenience store because it was a quicker route. Zimmerman claims he confronted the kid and then the kid just walked off, then came back and started beating on him and was banging his head against the concrete.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it sounds...
So there's a lot of points between Zimmerman first seeing the kid and Zimmerman shooting the kid where this could have gone an entirely different direction that really were on him.
Yeah. It was him acting like, I don't know if he had just got done watching a bunch of fucking Batman movies or what the fuck, dude. But
he'd always wanted to be a cop and never could. He could never pass all the tests to be a cop. But he'd always wanted to be a cop.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I apologize. I just didn't
oh no, you don't
fucking pay attention to the case that much.
Yeah. He was like a security guard and he failed at being a cop and he was playing junior police officer and apparently had done that a lot.
And real quick before I forget this also, out of the 2 or 3 people that are in the stream here watching it, did anybody catch the fucking Andy Worski roast live before he took it down? Because I'm kind of curious how bad that was.
Oh, that was so fucking funny.
Yeah,
I don't think he understands how roasts work because that's not, you don't organize your own roast.
Right,
it's a sign of respect from your friends that they organize it for you.
Yeah.
At least it's a Hollywood thing, you know. But
yeah, exactly. It's not something you're supposed to do to yourself. It looks like it's still down. I was checking. It doesn't look like he.
Or was it on another channel and I'm wrong and it was organized by somebody else? I could be wrong on that. Yeah. That's entirely possible.
No, I'm pretty sure it was him, dude. And I'm pretty sure it was on his channel. He's again. Well, apparently it was the white YouTuber in Gemini went on and just fucking trashed it. Like they were muting people constantly. muting people constantly and fucking, you know, just being fucking ass.
Showing it the amount of respect it truly deserved.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
I'm not a fan of Whitey or Gemini, but sometimes they really are right on when they're like they're really trashing something.
Yeah, Whitey, I think could be okay. I think he's too immature. I think I mentioned this on here before. I think in a few years, like he'll fucking mature a little bit, and I think he'll be really, really good. Gemini is it might be the same thing, but he's really fucking arrogant, really a fucking arrogant prick in my opinion.
I liked his sorry not sorry video. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Did that come out like today?
You know, I was really fucking drunk and this is what I do, so I'm not sure why you think I'm gonna apologize for that.
I kind of respect
he was
that.
Apologizing. I can't remember. I didn't really pay much attention. It just was pretty funny.
But yeah, Gemini seems like again just really closed-minded, really fucking I'm always right kind of fucking person. Which again he may grow out of too. I think Whitey, like because I see him on Twitter fucking with people, but his trolling's not funny. Like it's like he's not trying to be funny. He thinks he just has to be mean. And that's all that trolling involves. Like it helps to be funny. Also,
oh yeah.
Like just calling a chick fat is not really that great of a troll. You know,
that's not like a troll. That's just an insult.
Yeah.
Trolling has a little bit. It's an art. Trolling is a art.
Right. Yeah. Stench ever knows. He's good at it. I think actually AP kind of acknowledged it because there was something else going on. Between somebody, AP the Frog and somebody, and then fucking Stenchover comes in with the typing Jerry, like fucking Springer, and then fucking AP was like, you see Stenchover, he's a fucking perfect troll, you know, he fucking got a sense of timing, all that shit, you know.
Oh yeah,
because the other guy was not. Yeah, insecure. Yeah, I agree with you, dude. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. Arrogance is almost always a fucking, you know, arrogance and insecurity are basically two sides of the same coin. You know, anybody that's that much of an asshole is incredibly insecure, dude. Almost always. Yeah, but I never liked Gemini again because there's one time I put out an opinion and he was like, "Oh, you're just saying that because Bering said that." I'm like, "Fuck you, dude." I'm like, no, I'm not a fucking kid. I'm not. I think for myself. I saw the shit happen, and that's my opinion. Like I said, I followed him for a very short time. That happened, and I'm like, all right, I'm done with you. But again, got to give him props for, dude. They actually did a stream on Whitey's channel before this with Andy, where they fucking roast the shit out of him, and it's pretty goddamn funny. Even Andy was okay with it. Like they were going in talking shit about him being molested and fucking him being abused by his babysitters. Like they were pretty fucking vicious, dude. I actually suggest you watch it. It's pretty fucking good.
I don't know, man. I saw Andy's pictures that got released of him in like a diaper and shit.
Oh, right. Yeah, or him humping the tree. That kind of shit.
I think after that, I'm not really interested in all that much of what Andy's doing.
Like, well, no, this was on Whitey's channel I'm talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, Whitey and Gemini were on, and then Andy ends up coming on, and they roast the shit out of him, like proper roast style, to me, in my opinion. And then later on, they go on Andy's channel and just fucking burn the shit down, dude. I have to respect it on some level, dude. Like, it's pretty fucking funny that they did that, dude. Like, you know, because he was literally like, because, dude, all right, just one real quick thing that they had fucking told Andy. They're like, it was something along the lines. They're like, dude, so you got abused by like two babysitters were beating you up. He's like, I'm starting to think that you were just a rotten kid.
that's a roast joke. That's exactly what you're supposed to get.
Yeah.
The whole point of a roast is you're mocking the person and you're showing that person can rise above like the haters and the fucking bullshit.
Right.
That's the whole point of a roast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's done by your friends because your friends can do that kind of shit. And you can be and it's less of like you can handle that because it's your friends saying that shit.
Yeah.
You know, and you're making it seriously the hate stuff essentially.
Again, I recommend anybody, the 4 people listening, to check that out if you haven't on Whitey's channel because there's a lot of that kind of shit. They give him shit for being fucking hanging out with Tonka, which I'm sure you'll fucking enjoy. You know, because I think one of them was like,
I am not a fan of
Andy,
Tonka. That is the understatement of the fucking decade right there.
Yeah, but they're basically like, seriously, Andy, you really think Tonka's funny? When has Tonka ever said anything funny? Like, they were giving him shit about that. Like, I don't
take a kick out of Tonka. No, wait. He did one joke he fucking made when he was talking to Ogre made me giggle, even though I was like, this is just like the worst bullshit I've ever seen. And I'm not a fan of Ogre either. I like Ogre's.
Jesus,
he's getting weird, but fucking, he was like, I'm gonna put my dick around your neck and start you like a lawnmower. Like, that shit was fucking funny. You gotta.
But again, I heard that, I think, when I was in junior high or high school, so it's not true. Fresh, not something he came up with.
It's the first time I'd heard it. It made me laugh, and I have to say, it's a fucking great line to pull up in that situation.
Oh man, dude, did you see the shit with Prince of Queens and Geek Thulu and them?
Yeah, so here's the thing that I don't get. Like, first of all, let me be clear. I'm not a fan of Prince of Queens or Wizard of Cause.
Right.
At all. But, like, you got to expect that people are going to defend their friends.
Yeah, I think the issue, if I understand it right, is it was kind of a little bit of miscommunication because on one hand, Geek's like, dude, it was in the description. You should have known what we were talking about. On the other hand, Prince was like, well, I didn't. I just woke up and saw a link and kind of joined, which is possible. But it's plausible. But yeah, it didn't need to blow up into what it was. It really didn't. And then Prince really he's really passive aggressive with his fucking threats. It's weird. But it really was the way he was wording shit. It was like threatening, like, kind of like,
oh, yeah.
You don't want my fans to come after you. You don't want my friends to come after you.
Yeah, let me be clear. Like, I'm not trying to say anything they said was okay.
Right.
I'm just saying you have to expect that when you're gonna do something that harms somebody, whether the person deserves that harm or not. Like, so like Jeff is not at all innocent. He fucking he dug his own fucking hole. He's got to sit in the hole and figure out how to fucking be a real man and deal with that problem.
Which he's not doing at all, by the way.
Well, of course, but that's beside the point. The point I'm making is, of course, Wizard of Cause is going to come in and try to fucking help his friend. Of course, Prince of Queens is going to come in and try to help their friend. I mean, that's just the normal human condition, man. I mean,
yeah, and this is the thing, is they really have said that he was wrong. They just haven't fucking gone all out fucking condemning him and fucking disowning him.
And I don't expect that, and I don't think it's a realistic expectation.
It's really not, And again,
normal human beings don't sit and go like, "Well, my friend did this thing. Now I'm going to just fucking turn on my friend, and they're the worst thing on the planet, and I'm never going to fucking tolerate them again." Like, that's not how that works. Even murderers still have old friends that like stand by them. You know what I mean? Like, that's just normal. That's how
at least family members. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's not that unreasonable. Although I think Wiz was a cock about it, but Wiz is a fucking
he's a dick about everything. It's just what he does.
Yeah, and Prince Queen's again, he does. Prince Queens does it more passive aggressively. It's really weird to listen to him because I'm like, you really think you're fooling people with the way you're talking shit? Like, it's a passive aggressive thing, but it's obvious you're fucking roundaboutly talking shit about these people. It's obvious. It's blaringly obvious. You know what I mean? And then claiming that Prince of Queens will then turn around and be like, no, I wasn't talking shit. Like, motherfucker.
I like Mad Metal.
You're not good at it, dude.
I like Mad Metal in the chat. I disavow all of you. You're all cancer. Am I on the right side of bullshit now?
Can't go wrong with that, dude.
Everyone that was the funny thing that fucking exploded in my face on Twitter is because I saw, what was it? I saw Thrax something or other.
Right.
And I didn't realize that other people were tagging it. I just saw that he'd said like, all the people telling me to shut up should just fucking unsubscribe and fucking not and mute me on Twitter or something. And I'm like, fucking dude, you're on a public forum, you stupid fuck. Of course people are gonna fucking disagree with you. But do you not get like, how do you not see the fucking irony of being like, you can't tell me to shut up, you should shut up? Like,
no, Thrax is young. I think Thrax is really young and just fucking naive and stupid. Or not stupid necessarily, but naive. I shouldn't have thrown the stupid thing in. But no, well, again, and he should know better than to fucking kind of group in like that. He was one of the ones that was followed Liz and them around.
Yeah. He was big on Liz for a while. That's true.
Yeah, he didn't get out till like right before the very end, where he kind of like was like, okay, you guys are crazy. Like he should recognize that hive mind shit.
Oh, Mad Metal says he's like 20 or 22, so he's in that age range where,
yeah,
I think your brain is finished cooking around 25, and like it's still a lot of emotional, tugging
you're
shit going on,
Yeah, the rational part of your brain, or the part that does the rational thinking, is not completely developed till around 25. Yeah.
Of course, that's what I found out.
He's just young and naive, dude. Which, again, doesn't mean you can't talk shit to him, because he needs to fucking hear it if you're saying stupid shit. But, yeah, I think that's all that was. But, yeah, it was nice. So, did you really not realize Tonka was tagged and all that shit?
I don't pay that. I'm not some fucking Twitter adept. I just talk shit occasionally, and that was just one of those things where I saw it and I was like, "Fucking, that's too stupid." I gotta fucking give him a little.
It was kind of funny. Yeah, I didn't see it till hours later, but yeah, that was fucking pretty funny.
Yeah,
you're talking about just me. Like, fuck you. No, he's not.
Tonka's explosion was funny. And that's when we found out that Tonka apparently still holds a fucking vendetta against me for something that happened like 6 to 8 months ago that I don't honestly remember.
Yeah. No, that was funny.
I have big memories of being on that stream, but I don't, or not even on that stream. I was just in the chat on that stream. I wasn't even like one of the guests on the fucking show.
Wow.
And I don't remember for sure what was going on. I don't think I'm not going to give Tonka the benefit of the doubt on this one. I don't think he remembers it accurately either.
Yeah.
But
but it was crazy.
Who holds on to that shit for 6 fucking months?
Yeah, and I think he still to this day genuinely believes that you were just playing dumb and that you totally remembered. It was like, no, people don't hold on to this shit, dude. They don't fucking rage like that. Yeah, and then I'm like, man, it must be nice living that long rent free in someone's head, dude.
I don't know, man. I just thought that was weird. I honestly, at this point, though, I'm like, at the end of that, I was telling him to get help. I wasn't joking.
Yeah, no, he's definitely got the rage.
You should fucking go talk to somebody and deal with this like weird fucking anger thing. Like, if you're holding on to shit for that long, that's not healthy. Like, that can't feel good inside.
It's got to be awful. Well, that's the thing is, because I'd mentioned, because you mentioned that you fucking hated Tonka or not hated, but don't like him. I was like, well, I'm still watching. I thought it was a character. I thought he was way playing up a character. Like, this might be a little bit how he is, but he was really, really playing it up. But now I really have to believe that he's using the this is a character thing as an excuse. Just like his thing where he fucking says, "What? I'm not part of a community. I have a wrestling channel." Like, dude, whatever you have elsewhere, the Tonka channel is not a fucking wrestling channel.
Yeah.
It's fucking drama. It's not a fucking wrestling channel.
And own that shit. Be like, I'm the Jerry Springer of fucking the skeptic community, and be down with it.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Apparently Thrax is 27, lives with her mom, still a virgin. Wow.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah, you know what? I did hear fucking Thrax on a Stench over.
That would explain a lot about why he seems so young, though, if he really hasn't ever gotten out and experienced a lot of life. Why he seems like he's 20, 22.
He's probably again one of those now if I know he's that old, still lives with the mom, still and he's still a virgin. That means he was probably incredibly sheltered by his mom.
And more than likely.
Never experienced.
Well, he apparently he does like all the caretaking stuff. Like, he's in a similar situation where I'm at where I'm like taking care of like running the groceries and going to the bank and doing all the errands all day long. But I actually
right
too.
Yeah. No, I'm doing the same thing here for my mom. My mom has it's kind of weird. She's not blind, like her eyes work, but the like nerves to her eyelids are fucked up, where she has a hard time keeping her eyes open. So like a lot of times she's a weird one. Yeah, it's really weird.
But then my grandma, like, she couldn't fucking swallow towards the end. Like, she had to have all of her food delivered via tube.
Wow. Yeah, but again, I do a lot to take care of my mom too. You know, grocery shopping and all that shit.
Oh yeah. Well, with my grandma, I didn't do that. That was a nursing home. Like, there's no fucking way I have.
Yeah, that would be a tough one to have to fucking do. Yeah.
I mean, it did if it came down to it. Family's family. I'll do it. But like, I don't want to. I mean, she was like doing diapers and all that kind of stuff too. So I mean, it was.
Yeah, that was tough. I had to do that for my dad, man. Although all they had to really do was empty his catheter bag or whatever. Even that was kind of gross, but just fucking not an easy thing to do.
Ooh, at least it was a catheter and not the other one.
Right. Not having to
colonoscopy bag.
Colostomy bag, dude.
Yeah. Colostomy. Yeah, that's right. Not colonoscopy.
Yeah,
colonoscopy when they're looking in there. It's either when they're looking in there or when they take the colon out. I can't remember which.
Yeah, colonoscopy. Whatever. Colonoscopy. Yeah, it's got the word scope in it, dude. So yeah, I assume that's the one where they're actually looking up there.
Yeah,
checking out your colon, see what's going on. Yeah, but yeah, I think So it sounds like Thrax is just really sheltered and easily influenced. I would imagine was a big part of it.
Oh yeah.
Like he kind of.
Well, Tonka Sauce seems really cool if you're like 12. You know, like
that's crazy.
He's so cool. He doesn't have friends. He doesn't like anything. He's too cool for that, man. Right, like if you're a 12-year-old, that's fucking awesome. When you're an adult, you're like, that sounds really sad. You know, as an adult, you're like, you can't go to a theater and enjoy a film, just like sitting in a theater and having fun watching a movie.
Yeah,
that's kind of sad. You don't have friends. That's a little weird and creepy. Like,
I think I could have fun watching Tonka watch a movie. That would be interesting.
I think he's very entertaining. I think Tonka is very entertaining. He's very good at being that character. I don't know if it's a character or not. I only have to do what he says to go by. So to me, it seems kind of sad. It seems like a sad, lonely existence where you kind of feel like you always have to be on top of everything. Like you have to be better than everyone. I don't know. I mean, it just seems weird.
Yeah. And the shouting down thing, like, okay, you say that, as soon as I hear bullshit or as soon as I hear lies, I'm done. I'm just, and then he starts just yelling. That's kind of, especially, dude, if you caught the fucking ranting monkey thing with him and ranting monkey on the Kumite or whatever, dude, it was fucking horrible, dude. It was fucking. Well, both of them look fucking horrible, dude. It was just
ranting monkey yelled at him.
Well, not really, but it was basically Tonka constantly calling him a hoe. Like he just kept saying ho, 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 ho. Like he would go on for like 20 or 30 seconds.
Why did ranting monkey stay on?
Because he's an idiot, dude. They're both.
That's the part I don't get.
They both looked really bad.
Well, here's the part I don't get. Like, Tonka has on numerous occasions offered me the opportunity to go on his stream and quote unquote work things out. But I'm an adult and I have self-respect. There's no fucking way I'm going to do that.
Yeah, you watch all the other Kumites like
yelled at and talked and have somebody just talk to me like I'm like a fucking just.
Yeah, and that's the thing is
there's no point.
Because they'll turn around and say, "I don't kick anybody." Like, well, why would anybody not kick themselves being subjected to that? Because then he can claim he won. You know what I mean? They'd be like, "Oh, he left. I won."
I hypocrite.
You know.
Sorry, I just saw that in the chat. William says, "I hypocrite" video is pretty good on all this drama. I'm gonna have to check that out then, babe.
I hypocrite. Who did the I? Is that the fucking channel name or is that the video name?
I hypocrite is the channel name.
Yeah, and I have to check it out. That's interesting. But yeah, it's I think the claiming it's a character and then the bullshit I have a wrestling channel thing are just cop outs or just rationalizations, whatever you want to call it. It's to justify like how he acts, and rationalize it away.
Like, I mean, like him and I have disagreed on a couple things, and a lot of this, a lot of the back and forth is not necessarily situations where one can be right or wrong.
Yeah, it's just different opinions.
Yeah, people can have different opinions on things, like And he'll say you're wrong, you're a liar, you're fucking
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't.
Yeah, I know.
Pay enough attention.
No,
I'd have to take
much
notes.
that.
I'd have to take notes to fucking really get into that, and I'm not gonna fucking go that far.
That pretty much is it. It's different versions of you're wrong, you're a liar, you're a hoe.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I'm super jealous. That's the other one.
Yeah, although he did call out your fucking you only have 3 people watching your stream thing, and I was like, dude, the popularity thing, because you've got a pretty loyal following, but it's not that big.
I'm not a YouTuber, and I don't aim to be a YouTuber. I've always wanted to work in mental health. I work in mental health. I'm pretty happy with that. I want to get a second job because mental health doesn't pay very good. You know, I want to get a second job and do something else, but I'm not looking at YouTube to make money. That's just never been something that I was interested in.
Yeah,
I like making videos and hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty obvious. I can vouch for the fact that Stabby has no interest in growing his channel, dude.
I kind of want to make some other kinds of videos. I'm going to get into that because it's just kind of fun to do, but I'm not expecting any sort of like fucking money out of this. I don't want, I'm not looking for fans. It's more like incidental. So like, this is the Untitled Studios channel, and I have my other channel, Skills McStabby Pants. And anybody who watches that, like, it's popsicle stick doll videos for the most part and just weird shit. It's all shit I came up with when I was working graveyard shift and awake all night and had nothing better to do. It's just, and it made me laugh, and that's why I made it. I didn't think anybody was gonna fucking see that and be like, "Oh my god, this is the next fucking PewDiePie or fucking whatever." Like it's just not what I was thinking.
All right, let's see. The I have great kind of calls out Taco without saying his name. Oh, okay. He was on the Kumite once. Oh, yeah, failure. Yeah, failure's another one, dude. Just, yeah, that's what he does, man. Because it's weird because like he can sound reasonable for long stretches.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And
he
and then
does
all of a
sort of
sudden,
like the thing that a lot of the really bad skeptic channels do, where they basically just repeat the buzz phrases and previously worked out pieces of logic that other people have figured out.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can watch. Say like you're starting a skeptic channel now. It would be really simple to go and watch like 4 or 5 different people's videos and figure out what the accepted logical conclusions and points of view are, and simply repeat them in a different way.
Right.
That's not complicated to do, and that's part of what's bringing the skeptic community down is there's really no bar to entry.
Yeah.
So nobody has to really be that smart to be a skeptic in the skeptic community and make all these videos. They just have to be smart enough to reiterate the previously digested stuff in a new way.
Yeah, although I think that's certainly part of it too, but I think the main part is just getting stagnant, and also, again, nobody wanting to call anyone else out, letting shit go, because again, I think it was Medicare that made the point that, hey, if you guys had actually called Crowd out for what he did to Rage After Storm, maybe this shit doesn't happen, and that's probably really spot on.
Possibly, you know what I mean? Yeah, that makes sense.
Because they did fucking, he actually did contact Rage After Storm's employer, and she did end up getting fucking let go.
Oh yeah, and if people had made sure and said, you know what, we're not interested in working with Crowd and T because he doxes people and he does the same shit that social justice warriors do, and
right,
that makes sense. Yeah, if they'd actually dealt with it then and said like, hey, you're not cool, man. You're not welcome.
If they'd held him to task for that, maybe he doesn't. Again, none of this shit happens. Even if they didn't like fucking say we're never working with you again, just call them out. Don't necessarily have to say you're fucking done. We're fucking blackballing you. But he didn't. He really didn't get called out like on that. Like he really should have, even though he left or whatever. But
I'm not saying they should flat out say it. I'm just saying like make it clear that anybody
that's unacceptable,
so that they know what they're getting into.
Yeah. Like, hey, don't fucking do that shit.
Like, hey, this guy does this shit. Be aware. Don't, make sure that he doesn't get your information, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. Although, again, and it's kind of fascinating to watch Jeff kind of fucking backpedal from his shit and fucking be an arrogant fucking prick. And again, it's so fucking.
Oh, I did think it was funny that somebody funny. He actually had enough self-awareness to have a laugh at the person that sent him the fucking Pizza Hut application.
Yeah.
Somebody sent him a Pizza Hut application.
Yeah, but there's
other
shit
round table or something. I thought that was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah. No, that's fine, but it's again the shit that really stings him. He will fucking react with fucking.
Oh yeah, no. He still has yet to just own up to fucking what he did. He actually
apparently now he's backpedaling on the I lied part. Like,
I don't know why he didn't just come out and say, you know what, I lied. I did some fucked up shit, and I really shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, and apparently he did.
I can't make you trust me, but I can do the best I can to earn that back, and then move on.
Yeah, although apparently he started to do that in that video, but he ended up fucking throwing in a bunch of but this and but that, and well, this happened, and that's why, justifications essentially.
I think it's really easy to justify that when you're dealing with people that you think are just universally despicable.
Right.
So if you just look at anybody who's on the race realism side and say, you know what, these are the worst people on the planet, anything I do is justified.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really easy to get into that mindset.
That's the thing that we've called the SJWs. Again, Jeff especially, that's called the SJWs out for doing, though. So
yeah, no, I'm just saying,
it's incredibly hypocritical
for people to fall into, and I think it's very attractive kind of thing.
Yeah,
like it's super easy to be like, well, these are the bad guys.
Yeah.
And I gotta fucking get the bad guys. And I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying that's a really easy mindset to fall into.
Yeah. And again, like I said, I think the arrogance and all that.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's delusional. Is again my old the theory that I've been putting out for months now is that Jeff is just falling further and further into alcoholism. Because I recognize that, again, being an addict, I remember how fucking delusional I was, how fucking arrogant I was when I was in the fucking worst part of my addiction.
Oh, yeah. To think that, like, nobody fucking knows you're still doing the pills or whatever, like that kind of shit. I've seen that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really thought I was fooling everybody. And then, like I said, when I told my mom I was going to rehab, she's like, oh, it's about time. I'm like, oh, you knew? And she's like, fucking, of course I knew. Yeah.
The number of clients I've had who just straight up wow on meth, extremely high on meth, extremely obviously high on meth.
Right.
Who will be like, I'm not on anything. Why are you asking? Because you can't fucking sit still.
Yeah. That's a good technique too. Is like asking like the acting like the question is ridiculous. Like, well, that's ridiculous that you would even think I'm high. Blah, blah.
Yeah, well, they're sitting there just like fucking methed out and shit, all fucking twitchy. Can't hold their fingers still. Their fingers are always moving. And you're like, all right, well, we're gonna have to do a drug test because we will actually do piss tests in the program.
Right.
Just the real simple dip ones. And oh, Jeff has been living in a bottle for a while. Yeah, Jeff has been living in a bottle for a long fucking time. But yeah, like they'll refuse to pee in a cup to do the piss test, and you're like, because you're fucking high.
Yeah,
like, just we're not throwing you out. We're not going to kick you out of the program altogether unless this just is a constant thing. But because we expect, I mean, it's part of what we do is recovery. So we expect there's going to be relapses here and there.
Right.
We just draw the line when it comes to it's a relapse twice a week, every week.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But if you've been doing great for 6 months and you and the client just goes out and smokes a little meth one night and then comes back after like 4 or 5 hours and has to sober up and then they're fine and they don't keep going back and doing it every week, then we can usually be like, all right, that happens. Let's keep working on the recovery. You know what I mean? Like that's usually fine.
Exactly. Yeah, and again, to address the Mad Metal Man, I've been talking about this for months with Jeff, way before any of this shit happened. The fact that, because I followed Jeff for a little while. Actually, he was pretty much my favorite YouTuber for a little bit there. But then, again, I started noticing the shit. And I followed him long enough to know his backstory and the fact that he, had a lot of problems with drugs when he was younger. And now he just drinks. And again, that's an incredibly common story in the recovery meetings that I go to. It's like people think that I cut everything else out. I'm just going to drink. That's legal. That's not bad. And they end up becoming alcoholics, dude. It's just the last thing they go to. And again, that's that fucking arrogance, that delusion. Is really hard to break through for a normal person that doesn't have tens of thousands of sycophantic fans. Like, it's hard enough for an average person to do it. When you got that many people propping you up and telling you that you're never fucking wrong, it's an almost impossible, dude. Like, he's going to have
Rockstars have such a hard time. You know, Rockstars has such a hard time quitting because people are all over the place that want to give it to them. Yeah, actors, rock stars.
Yeah, anybody
and famous, especially with stuff like heroin, because heroin is supposedly like the creative drug.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of people who say that, you know, injecting heroin was how they wrote all their music, or that if they stop doing this drug, they're not going to be able to fucking do their acting anymore, and they're going to end up losing everything they've built.
Yeah, no,
there's a lot of people who are told that.
Yeah. No, I definitely got that. I'm like, am I still going to be funny if I'm just sober? You know, like, you know, that kind of shit. And that happens a lot. Again, comedians, obviously that affects them. But yeah, you question yourself because you don't know who the fuck you are anymore, you know, and it's just a incredibly fucked up time, man. And yeah, and again, but the truth of the matter is, you know, once you're that far gone in the addiction, you're not being all that creative anymore anyway. Like, it's fucking with you more than it's helping you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, no, absolutely, man. Yeah. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying, like, that's what they get told, the poor bastards.
Right. Yeah, and I guarantee you that's happens to whatever drug it is. It's the same general thing. Yeah, but I think it's gonna. In order for him to actually recognize it, and again, we could totally be wrong. He might just be an asshole. But I would be surprised if he's not just a fucking alcoholic. That's really far into the alcoholism, you know. But yeah, it's going to take a lot. Like, so obviously this would have done it if everybody turned on him. If he didn't have all these fans still telling him, "Hey, you're the fucking the sun still shines out of your ass." If everyone turned on him, all his fans and everything, that would almost certainly, well, not almost certainly, but it very well could have been the rock bottom that made him realize he had a fucking problem.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
Well, the thing is, like, for me, I grew up, my dad's an alcoholic. There's a lot of alcoholics in my family. So I very easily recognize, yeah, no, absolutely. I think Jeff is most likely an alcoholic. That was part of the reason why I stopped watching his channel. The other part being that it was like a weird pay-for-play situation.
Oh, right.
When I first started watching Jeff's main channel, I didn't realize there was like Jeff 2, Electric Boogaloo, and like another one too. I think there's like 3 channels.
Yeah, there's 3. Yeah, at least 3 that I know of. Yeah.
And he does like this weird live stream for money thing where, like, I guess people that pay him a certain amount on Patreon get to be on live streams, and he'll occasionally do like a hangout with just one person if they pay for it.
If they pay enough. Yeah.
And that to me was just a weird, creepy way to go. To me, that seems weird. Like, I'm never gonna.
It's a fine line between rewarding your patrons and you know, basically selling, you know, friendship. You know,
and to me, it felt like selling friendship in a really creepy way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it seemed like he had definitely crossed that line, dude. Yeah.
But again, it was gross just because, like, there's so many people on the internet that maybe they don't have a lot of social interaction, or maybe they live in an area where, like, their point of view is just not really acceptable. And so they come to the internet to get that sort of positive interaction with other people. Right. And it feels so creepy to have somebody who's preying on that for money.
Yeah. No, it doesn't seem like a nice thing to do. Although, you know what I mean? Regardless of his motives of taking advantage, if it is making the people happy, you know, then
that's true. It's not like they're going into it with their eyes closed. I'm not saying that there's some sort of victim. To me, it's too gross for me to want to do it. It's like there's some people where, like, if they're gonna sign something for you, you gotta pay.
Right.
Like, I get it, and that's fine. That's their choice. But I would never do that. Like, not that I'm fucking ever going to sign anything for anybody. But I mean, like, were I in that situation, I can't imagine wanting to charge for that. That to me,
I'd have a hard time with it too. You know, unless it was like, holy shit, I've got so many fucking demands of this that like I'm gonna have to charge just to fucking not have so many of them or something. Yeah, I don't know. I can't even like. I think I would just not do it if anything in that point.
Well, I think what you do is you just limit the amount of time you spend. So, you know, if you're like a William Shatner or something, who like I'm sure there are people who will go up to him in the middle of a restaurant and want something signed. And it would be perfectly reasonable for him to say, you know what, I'm only going to sign things at conventions. I don't, you know, there's so many of you wonderful fans out there, and I'm glad you all like it, blah, blah, blah. Do the whole fucking self-effacing bullshit.
Right.
But then just say, look, I can't do this with all my time every day. So I'm letting people know that I'm only going to sign things at conventions. You know, that's when I'll be available to do that.
Right.
You know, and then just stick to it. Don't just sign random things on the street. If you know, and say, look, you got to catch me at a convention. That's where I do this. Have a nice day. I'm glad to have met you, kind of thing, or something. Or do like Jerry Seinfeld, who pretty much is supposedly one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, and is almost always willing to sign something or take a picture.
Yeah.
And like, this is why I have such a wonderful life. There's all these fans who want to interact.
Right. But yeah, again, I don't know what, like I said, Jeff's thing doesn't seem to be that. It really does seem, like you said, the pay-for-play bullshit. And again, it's something that could, I don't know if it's the alcoholism or he's just, again, a person that takes advantage. Dude.
I think it's a function of the YouTube advertising not really paying anymore.
Yeah, that's true. You're used to a certain amount of money and that falls out. Yeah.
For people that want to make a living off of YouTube, like, you gotta have patrons at this point. You really do, or you gotta be as big as like PewDiePie,
or you have
lose
to
half that ad revenue, and it doesn't fucking matter because you're still making $500,000 a year.
Yeah, or you have to fucking be so uncontroversial that nobody can possibly be offended at anything you fucking do. You know, like that's the other one. But dude, real quick before I forget, I suspect Andy of the same shit I suspect Jeff of. Andy fucking reeks of an alcoholic / drug.
Oh, you think he's an alcoholic?
Yeah. Well, I've seen streams of his where he's back when I used to follow him, where he had to take him down because he was so drunk and he started talking so much shit that they fucking ended up taking the stream down. So there's no fucking evidence of it.
Oh, God damn it. The internet's forever, though, dude. I bet someone out there has fucking...
No, I wouldn't doubt it. But literally all of it, I remember the stream. He was talking shit about... This was several months ago. Because, again, I stopped following him quite a while ago. But it was him talking shit about Francesca Ramsey or whatever. And he was fucking going off and saying some really crazy shit. And pretty much all of us were like, dude, you need to delete this. You cannot keep this up. You know, everybody in the comments was like, get rid of this. Take this down. You cannot have this out there. You know, so again, I suspect that it would explain a lot. I think he's incredibly immature anyway. And again, you know his history. He was fucking molested. He was abused. That's very common in fucking recovery meetings. I'm not sure of the percentages, but I would guess it's at least a good 60% of people in recovery have molestation
and there's
or
there's a big risk in the past. So Failure and Tonkasak can talk shit all they want. They have relatively small channels. It's really not a concern. Andy Worski has a fairly substantial following.
Fuck yeah, dude. Does he have
he could very well be opening himself up for some of this stuff for slander.
Yeah.
If some of the shit he talks about people, if it's not true, and it ends up actually affecting, you know, and they can say, like, within a reasonable, you know, frame of legal doubt, that this actually cost me money. Like, I lost money because of what he said and the way, and he was spreading this information. That's still slander. Just because you're on YouTube doesn't mean you can't be sued.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so you got to be really careful for that shit, man. I would, in his place, I would be a little more careful.
Yeah, let's say he was successful in actually trashing the Kilroy event completely. He could be liable for whatever fucking losses occur, man.
Yeah. They could potentially go after him for that. But I mean, other stuff too. I mean, he's gone after other people. And the stuff he said, you know, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. You know, you really got to know what you're talking about if you're going to be putting it out in the public eye like that.
Yeah, and he flies off the handle. He's done it so many fucking times, dude, that, he could easily be open for that shit, dude. But, I don't know, man. I can find it incredible
finding that out now?
What?
Isn't Sargon of Akkad in the middle of a slander suit? I thought he was. I could be wrong.
I think his was he got busted for playing a video, somebody's video.
Oh, somebody else's content. Yeah, he
didn't. It was not transformative in any way. He just played it.
Copyright thing. Yeah. No, that makes sense. But I mean, it's not quite the same, but it's still a similar kind of situation where it's like
it's still kind of an arrogant thing.
Just because you're on YouTube and everybody thinks it's like the Wild West doesn't mean that you can't end up facing real legal repercussions for the shit you say and do.
Yeah, and again, the threshold for the transformative thing can be incredibly low. Like he could have, from what it's explained to me, even if he just put like at the beginning, hey, look what this crazy bitch said, watch this video. Like even that could be enough. You know what I mean? He didn't
enough that it's not worth going after you. Essentially, like a good lawyer can defend it enough that you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. But he just said, fuck you, I'm putting this up. And, because people warned him apparently, like, hey, this is not transformative at all. You need to fucking take that down or change it and do something to it. And he didn't listen, And apparently one dude was like, was kind of telling him that. And he's like, no, make a video about it. And he's like, fuck you. I'm not making a video about it. I'm warning you about it right now. If you want to fucking listen, great. If not, well, fuck you then. And again, this is what happened.
Yep. You have to be careful with that shit, man. You can't just...
But yeah, Sargon's been arrogant for a long time. I don't even know if he wasn't arrogant before he was famous. You know what I mean?
But I'm just saying, like, for Andy Worski especially, because he tends to go off on these sort of wild goose chase.
Yeah.
No, he's incredibly the person thing.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that he has not worked through the trauma that he talks about from his childhood and elsewhere.
I just would, as much as I don't like the guy, I'm not a fan of his stuff. I don't want to see him in like a huge multi-$1,000 like lawsuit.
Right.
No,
I would definitely like him to see if he's. I'd like to see him work through his issues. Again, if it is as I suspect, and he probably is at least an alcoholic, him get the help. Same with Jeff. I'd really like, because again, I know what that's fucking like, man. And again, I wasn't famous, and it was incredibly difficult for me to fucking break through the bullshit. So again, it's going.
Well, he's got a wife who does the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're still
relatively
young.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, you didn't know Jeff's wife? Jeff's wife.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Andy. No, I thought you were talking about Andy.
He's got a wife who does all the drinking and stuff with him, so that's a kind of a double whammy.
Yeah, although I think she's just a heavy drinker. Honestly, I don't think she's not. I haven't again.
Yeah, but if you have an alcoholic and a heavy drinker together, it's really hard for the alcoholic to become aware of. Oh yeah, maybe I just shouldn't drink.
Yeah, that's true, and it's hard for the heavy drinker to realize that
the alcoholism and not just another heavy drinker.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we could be wrong. Jeff might not be an alcoholic. We don't see him all day, every day.
Yeah, right. But it seems incredibly likely to me. But you're right. We definitely do not know for sure.
He comes off as one, just because from my experience with dealing with alcoholics for my entire life. But
right.
That doesn't necessarily mean I'm right.
But again, and mine is essentially, again, I'm fucking a drug addict myself. I've seen this shit. I've lived in sober living in the past. I've been to rehab a couple times. I've dealt with a lot of fucking alcoholics, clean, not clean, again, drinking, not drinking. And it just looks exactly like a lot of the shit I fucking see and hear in meetings and elsewhere.
Drinking, not drinking sounded a lot like sorry, not sorry.
No.
Just for a minute there, it kind of got me. I was like, drinking, not drinking.
Sober, not sober. Sober, not sober. Sounds the same, doesn't it? Whether sober or not, I've seen them both. Again, clean, not clean. All right, I'm gonna stop doing it.
And at least we're getting all this drama shit out on the Thursday, and then Sunday we can leave it be while Ingerhearth is on and do the regular like talking about random shitty news
right,
stuff.
Right. Yeah, I get it out. So Hearth isn't like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Why are you guys always talking about this shit?
Because it's entertaining. It's funny.
Although he still manages to riff pretty well for not knowing what the fuck we're talking about. And he still manages to be funny and shit. Yeah.
You don't get to see the look on his face of like, you guys are way too into this. It's like the husband from the sitcom when the wife is talking about watching her soap operas.
Oh, right, right.
The husband's looking at his wife like, the fuck is wrong with you, bitch?
like it's a fucking TV show. Why are you so invested in this? Yeah, I can see that.
Some of those soap opera people have been like beat up in real life for shit that they did on the fucking show.
Holy shit, dude, that's amazing.
Like people, fans and shit, who see the show and get so far into it that they can't distinguish reality from the fucking show.
That's amazing. Why did you cheat on her, you asshole?
Shit happens.
Dude, that's amazing. Yeah, so people are dumb, man. Although I've heard, like, back when Gilligan's Island was on, that people would fucking call the studio or write the studio and be like, how are you? You guys are filming this. Why aren't you helping them get off the island?
I believe that fucking amazing, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's so fucking glorious. Why don't you help them? Why are you just filming it?
Yeah. You guys are taking advantage. Help them get home.
Oh, speaking of Island, okay, so have you seen the Bear Grylls stuff?
What do you mean?
So he's doing like a men and women separate Survivor thing.
Mm.
Where women are on one island all alone and men are on another island all alone, and they're seeing how long and how well they survive.
Oh, okay.
And everybody's a little upset because the women are doing awful. Awful.
Let me guess. They started forming a little clique and aren't doing the teamwork thing.
With each other, forming little cliques, getting upset over shit that doesn't matter, wasting time on stuff that just doesn't have anything to do with survival.
Yeah, it's all about their feelings, I'm guessing.
Getting upset over people washing underwear and stuff, and like just all sorts of weird shit. And like the guys are like, in the same amount of time, the guys have like a fucking hut, they have a roaring fire, they've been collecting fish.
Well, that's the thing is guys can have a fucking friendly competition, friendly rivalry even, and still get along and still fucking team together, man. And
when they recognize the situation, like you can have a dude that you fight all day, every single day, that you just cannot stand. But then suddenly you're in a situation where there's a bunch of other people that you don't know who are trying to beat you both up, and you'll fucking go back to back in a heartbeat.
Right.
You know, like that's how it works.
Yeah, for women, they'd probably still try to fucking go with the other groups and turn them against that other person instead of, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good. Actually, I was just reading, you probably didn't pick this out of that fucking, the picture of the bathroom I sent you guys of all the Christmas shit.
That stuff was so over the top.
Yeah, the one that looks like Christmas took a human, fucking physical form, got drunk and vomited in the bathroom. That one. Fucking.
Oh man.
Anyways, there was like 5 fucking Isaac Asimov books. I didn't notice it, and you probably didn't either. But I had like 5 Isaac Asimov books in there. One of them was the. Do you remember the movie Enemy Mine? With it was way back in like the 80s, I think. Dennis Quaid and Lou Gossett Jr.
And the 2 aliens, they're like an alien and a human that have to depend on each other for survival.
Yeah, they're two fighting.
They're like stuck in a cave or something together on like some.
They're stuck on a planet. Yeah, they kind of shot each other down, basically. So it's the same thing. Like if that were 2 women, well, maybe 2 women that made it work. If there were more than 2, I guess it would probably be a problem. But yeah, that kind of illustrates those dudes fucking hated. No, those 2 races, the humans and the Dracs, fucking hated each other. But those 2 guys, pretty quickly recognized, hey, we're a much better chance of survival if we fucking work together here, despite the fact that they absolutely despised each other's races. Again, not as likely to happen if it's fucking women.
Well, there was it's like a survival quiz thing. It's kind of a silly one, but it made a few good points. Some of the stuff it was really wrong on, but one of the points it made was if you have a large group and there's fighting that's starting to break out, do you stick with the group and try to work out the fighting, or do you take a smaller group and separate out and try to do your own thing?
Oh yeah,
and even if it's frustrating, you want to try to work out the fighting as quick as you can, and stick with that larger group because your chances of survival are that much better with more people.
They're better. Right, right.
You know, because you might say you're in an area where you can do hunting. You know, 5 guys with sharp sticks are much more likely to bring down whatever you find and be able to corner it and kill it than like 3.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
So you
Yeah,
increase your odds.
It's how fucking they used to be able to hunt fucking mammoths and shit back in the day. You know, you're not fucking doing that by yourself or even with just a couple
Well, and
of
if you
people.
have 6 separate people go out fishing in 6 separate areas, odds are much better that one of them's going to come back with enough fish for you guys to eat.
Yeah, yeah. Or just overall, like there might be a couple people that strike out, but overall they're going to catch enough fish for everybody. Yeah.
And one of the things they some of the tribes in the Amazon will do is trade arrows. So nobody knows for sure who shot whatever the kill shot was, because what mattered is that you're bringing home food.
Right.
And people, I'm sure there's people who think that like communism, but it's not really the same thing as communism. It's more of like a, let's not end up with people that fight with each other over who killed the fucking deer that one person couldn't eat by themselves anyway.
Right.
You know, like, you gotta.
Like we all contribute, we all put in the effort, and just because you happen to get the kill shot, you know, doesn't make you fucking better than everybody. And the people that maybe missed that time doesn't make them worse than anybody.
Because the next time it might be the other way around, or it might not be. But either way, you can't afford to have the fighting and the hot dogging and all that kind of stuff when you're looking at, do we have enough to eat or not?
Yeah. Where
you can do that on a football field, and then it's all good because you're not worried about whether or not you're going to fucking have enough food.
Right.
But in the fucking jungle, where you either have enough food or you die, and there's no fucking grocery store to go to if you don't kill that fucking animal.
Although it is kind of telling that, again, the whole fucking island full of women can't seem to fucking pull that together.
Well, and it might just be crazy. That group of women.
That's true. And the threat is not actually real. They're not actually going to fucking die. So that kind of, you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to let them starve to death. You know,
one woman was almost hospitalized.
Oh, wow, really?
From like dehydration. Yeah, so they're letting them get pretty close to the fucking edge of it's pretty dangerous.
But they're not, it's not going to go there. You know what I mean? They're going to still fucking monitor them. So they're having that safety net fucks with the thing a little. Although, again, it is telling that the guys get along and the women don't, even with
what was funny was the women immediately broke into 2 groups. Wow. And one group tried to like get a fire going and set up a camp. And the other group went out to explore. They were trying to find the other beach. And one of the women, because she grew up in like a forest, apparently just decided she knew how to like navigate and wouldn't let anyone else fucking put in their 2 cents.
Wow.
So they spent literally like 3 days walking in circles in the fucking forest.
That's amazing, dude.
She just wouldn't let anybody
fucking... between her being stubborn and the other people not wanting to hurt her feelings...
Well, not being willing to push the confrontation to the point where she has to give in.
Right.
Because in a survival situation, look, man, if you think you know what you're doing and I don't know for sure, I'm totally willing to like give you the lead. But once you've proven that you don't, I'm not going to keep letting you lead.
Yeah, like you obviously don't know. I don't care where the fuck you grew up and what you did. You're obviously failing at this. So let's fucking...
The first time you walk in a giant circle, you're not the navigator anymore.
Yeah,
somebody else is going to figure it out.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
Of course, then I know the trick not to walk in a giant circle, but I mean it's real simple.
Yeah,
you stand somewhere and you picture a line on the ground of where you want to go, and you find a point where you're at, and then you find a point behind you, like a tree or a rock or something distinct, and then you find the point that line connects to that's distinct. And then the next time you use the tree you were standing by. So you create 3 points to start, and then you're switching points each time, and you're using the point you were at as the last point in your line.
Yeah.
And you have to keep using a compass and stuff to go in a straight line. You have to if you have a compass, you should keep using it. If not, use the sun.
Yeah. Or the moss. If you're somewhere where moss grows, it grows almost exclusively on the north side of trees. You know, shit like that, dude.
Yeah, shit like that. But if you keep track of the point behind you, the point you're at, and the point you're going to, and you make sure those are always in a line,
Yeah,
You
you're not
always
going to
use
get
the
turned
point
around.
you were at as your last point.
Mhm.
You're going to keep going in a straight line, more or less.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
still going to veer somewhat, but you have a much better chance of continuing to go in a straight line.
Yeah, you're much less likely to end up back where you started.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. I can't believe anybody's still watching this shit or fucking talking about this.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're getting into weird territory. What was it? I watched an anime that fucking made me so angry because they fucking went off a cliffside in a bus
Mhm.
and they just stayed where they were and fucking starved to death.
Wow.
Like, I'm just sitting there going like, and this is in like, it's all supposed to be in like Japan.
All right.
And I'm sitting there going like, you live where there's bamboo. Fucking make a fucking ladder.
Yeah.
The cliff sides were like
funny.
40 feet high.
Oh,
Like,
man.
that's really not a difficult prospect to make a ladder. Like,
So
they
this
had
was an
tanks and
anime?
shit. Yeah, it was an anime.
Mm.
And I'm just sitting there like, light something on fire.
Yeah, draw
Make
attention
a lot
to
of
yourself.
smoke. People are going to come out and check. They're going to be like, shit, the forest is on fire. We best go look.
Yeah, that's kind of unrealistic.
Follow the fucking cliff.
Like, who the fuck would just stay there and die? Like, that's
It
fucking
was
weird.
so fucking weird. Like, they ended up getting into camp. It was all part of the story. They just didn't write the bad circumstance well enough that it made sense.
All right, right. Yeah, I don't know
But
if
I'm
you could.
saying
It would
like-
have to be like every single person's legs were broken and they couldn't fucking move. You know,
Yeah, I'm just like, if it's 40-foot high cliff, I mean, fuck, you could just fucking pile shit up.
yeah, you
Eventually
can throw
get up
rocks
there.
up there at people and get their attention. You know, all kinds
Well,
of
I mean,
shit.
if you can't build a ladder, you can literally just pile fucking stuff on the ground.
Yeah, just
You
do it
can
at a
make
little bit
fucking
of an angle, climb up it. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not that hard. But the part that
Yeah.
got me was they didn't just like follow the cliffside where the road was on, or like try to get through the forest, or light a big fucking fire.
They just kind of sat there and died.
Because one of the things is in the U.S., unless you're really fucking out there, there's usually like a fire watch somewhere that will see if you light a big enough fire.
Right, right.
So
Yeah.
if
Here
you know-
in the West, there's some pretty wide open areas, but yeah, in most of the areas they're gonna fucking see that.
But if
And
you
even
light
in
a
the
big
wide
enough
open
fire-
areas, even in the
Yeah.
wide open areas, that's gonna be seen for miles and miles if you light some shit on fire.
Yeah.
Because it's open desert or whatever.
you know, find a bunch of stuff, get it all together, light a big old smoky fire,
Mhm.
and then
Just
just
3, if you can do it, 3 is the international symbol for distress, by the way.
yeah, oh yeah.
If you can manage 3 signal fires or whatever, that's how you do it.
Yeah, but I mean, the main thing is to get that smoke up in the air, because that's the part that isn't hard to see. Once it's up a certain height, everybody can see the giant black cloud of smoke coming from fucking wherever, and they might go check it out. Just as a general, like, maybe we don't want a giant fire.
Right? Like, hey, we should check, see what's going on there. That doesn't look natural. Yeah, or even if it is natural, it shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, we still want to make
what's
sure,
going on.
you know, that it doesn't
Yeah.
take out
Right.
like the fucking farms or something like that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. You ever watch the dual survival one where it had like the hippie guy and then the military guy?
The hippie and the military guy. I love those two
Yeah.
dudes. I like the
Yeah.
military dude because he can actually admit when the hippie guy's right. He's like, well, you know
Yeah.
what? I don't fucking like it, but he had a point.
It
He was
works.
right.
Yeah, that actually works. But yeah, it's kind of funny watching them walk around in fucking without any shoes or socks, though. Especially when it's so fucking freezing, like they're in snow and shit, and that dude still would refuse to fucking wear any shoes or socks, man. Yeah,
That's a commitment to survivalism and like prepper commitment that I could never make.
Yeah, that's a tough.
Where you're
one,
like,
man.
I'm just gonna walk around until my feet are so tough I don't need shoes.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah, because I used to try to condition my feet to where I could walk on really hot shit, you know, living here in the desert. But that was about as far as my commitment went.
I
wasn't
used to
walking
know a
around
dude
barefoot.
when I was still doing social dance. I knew a dude who was barefoot all the time,
Wow.
and his was all about religion. He had given up shoes as part of his weird Christian thing.
Wow. What fucking
I don't know
sect
what-
of Christianity is that?
I don't know, but nobody else in his family did that kind of shit. It was just him.
Wow, that's
So like I knew his
fucking.
little brother, and his little brother was like, "Yeah, I don't fucking get it either."
Mm.
And they were both super religious. Like they were both super fucking Christian. But the one guy was just like, "Yeah, I don't know. The no shoes thing is weird too." But nobody else does that but him.
Like we're still trying to figure out where he got that from, and you know, we're super religious, and we still haven't seen what he's talking about.
But like he would even dance
like
like barefoot, like on the dance floors and shit.
Wow, that's crazy.
Which is weird because generally people, when they get into dance at a certain point, put leather soles on their shoes because the leather doesn't stick to the floor.
Right.
So if you're going to like spin or slide or, anything that involves going over with your foot flat on the floor, moving, not up or down, but side to side, it makes a huge difference on how well your knees are going to handle that later on, and your ankles and everything. You're going to feel much, much better after a night of dancing with leather-soled shoes than you are with rubber-soled.
Yeah, maybe he waxed up his feet. Who knows?
Nah, he just bare all the time.
Yeah. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like you put some kind of crazy fucking slippery shit on your feet.
That would be funny, but
probably not. Probably not what happened.
No, because I think that they get mad if you spill water on the floor and don't clean it up before people step in it.
Oh wow, gotcha.
If you've ever seen,
probably wouldn't
if you've ever seen what happens when a leather shoe hits water and you're sliding, it's like suddenly you're just not sliding anymore.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it literally, like, your foot will hit the water and you'll just stick.
Okay. I thought you were saying it was like even more slippery. That's crazy.
No, it's completely opposite. It goes from slippery to completely not slippery anymore. Immediately. I've had it happen where I'm like sliding on, because one of the things that's kind of fun is just to slide on one foot for a couple feet.
Right.
Just for fun, because you can. And man, if you hit water, it's like sliding and then you're fucking falling face first into the fucking ground.
It's kind of like when you're skateboarding and you hit a big rock and just face plant.
Exactly that. It's suddenly the skateboard stops and you don't.
Right. That's crazy.
So if somebody actually greased up their feet and then went dancing on a dance floor, people would fucking kill that person.
Right. They'd fucking code red his ass.
All right,
get the towels and the soap together.
They might raise the crucifix. I mean, we're talking the religious thing here, so they might raise the crucifix again, and he'll be nailed to it the next day.
All right. Here's a warning to anyone else who wants to grease up their feet. This fucking dude on the cross.
I've still to this day, I've never gotten a good enough answer in my mind as to why that dude was shoeless.
Yeah, that is pretty weird, man. Especially if, again, people in his family couldn't figure it out. Like you're not gonna figure it out,
Well, I've always just kind of wondered, maybe he just didn't like shoes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I wear shoes as little as possible, to be honest with you. I wear sandal. They're flip flops. They're nice flip flops. Actually, they're almost sandals. Because I used to get the cheap flip flops, but they'd only last like a month before they break. So I actually invest like $7 or $8 to buy a really good pair of flip flops. But yeah, I wear those almost all the time. And even then, the only reason I do that is because I got stung by a scorpion on the arch of my foot once. Because I used to go barefoot almost all the time, but again,
that's super dangerous though. Aren't scorpions like super fucking deadly or something?
Not here. It's very few people actually die from scorpion bites. Like it's no fun. It's okay
because I've only got movies to go off of, man. Never dealt with scorpion bites in California. I assume there's ones from like Africa or the Middle East or wherever that can actually like kill you quickly. But no, the ones here, you have to be either really young or really old for it to actually be a threat to your life. It's incredibly like a spider bite. Like most spider bites are just, you let them, they'll be fine.
Yeah, they're really uncomfortable, but and again, I'm way worse than a bee sting. Like I've gotten stung by bees a couple times. Scorpion sting, way worse for a much longer fucking duration.
Oh, bee stings are fucking. I do not like bee stings. So yeah, that would be really bad.
Yeah, no, it's significantly worse than that, dude. Yeah,
I got stung on the back of the knee by a bee twice.
Yeesh. The first time I ever got stung was probably I was working at Verizon, so it must have been like I don't know, 04, 05 maybe. But I got stung. Somehow the bee got under my fucking collar. Like I had to wear
Ooh.
When I worked at Verizon towards the end, we had to wear like dress shirts and ties and shit. And it somehow got under my collar and stung me in the neck. Not knowing
that
if
does
I
not
was,
sound fun at all.
No, I was freaked out because in my head, I'm like, I don't know if I'm allergic to bee stings or not. And I got stung in the neck right by my, windpipe and shit.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so I was kind of freaking out. I'm like, okay, I don't know that. Stung me right here. And then I seemed to have trouble swallowing, and I couldn't know. I didn't know if it was me imagining it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a tough thing.
Yeah.
If it, like, am I really having trouble swallowing, or is it fucking with me?
I've had panic attacks where I feel like I can't breathe.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You've convinced yourself that you can't get enough air, but you're fine.
Yeah. So it kind of felt like that, but again, I was fine. The other time I got stung right in the back, right between the shoulder blades. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's gonna suck because you can't reach it. Like, you got to get somebody else to fucking get the stinger out at that point.
Yeah. In fact, I think it ended up staying in for a while. My ex ended up having to like actually cut it out, dude. Like, it had started to scab over, but it was still in there.
Oh,
And
no.
she had to literally cut it out of me, dude.
Yeah, the ones on the back of my knee, because it was like 2 days in a row. Like, one day I was out walking along this creek path, like a couple miles from my house, and I got stung on the back of the knee. And then the next day I was walking along the same path, and they fucking did it again. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with the back of my knee? Like, am I attacking bees with it or something? But
it's crazy, dude.
I just squeezed them out like zits, where you just like get kind of pushed down on the sides and then squeeze it out and scoop kind of.
Yeah, apparently you can kind of flick it out
with like
no, you're supposed to use like a credit card, like a kind of flick it out somehow.
I had a fucking MP3 player and headphones. That was what I had.
Right. But yeah, that's what she had done to the one on my neck, I believe. She kind of managed to get it out like that way. But the other one, again, it had just been there so long that she had to literally cut through the fucking shit that was starting to scab over it and pull it out like that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's going to hurt.
Nah, it wasn't too bad.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, because it was kind of almost numb. It's weird. Although I wonder if I have a cyst right in that area. I wonder if that caused a cyst somehow.
Could be. It could be. You never know, man.
I really need to get that cyst taken care of. Like, it doesn't really bug me. It doesn't hurt or anything. But, yeah, I've got some kind of cyst right now. Not quite in the center of my shoulder blade, slightly left, but...
it's always a good idea to make sure, even though it's probably not like cancerous. You just never want to fucking find out like 10 years down the line. Like, man, if I'd only had that removed fucking 10 years ago, I wouldn't be dying now.
Yeah. So I need to get that shit going.
Not to make it too dramatic or anything.
Yeah. No, you're definitely right. Either way, it should get it the fuck out of there, because it's not. It's definitely not a good thing that it's there, and it can definitely mess some shit up. Although, yeah, because sometimes it'll get to the point where I just kind of rub it back there and that nasty shit comes out, I don't know if you've ever had one, dude, but that shit literally smells like concentrated nasty foot odor, dude.
I never had one that leaked, but I had a big cyst on the side of my neck that I had to have removed. And yeah, it smelled like fucking gym socks galore.
Yeah, like just concentrated. Like, it's the consistency. Yeah, it's like the consistency of like toothpaste, maybe even a little thicker.
I didn't see it.
But yeah, and it reeks like just a tiny bit, dude. It reeks, dude. Yeah, it's really fucking crazy how bad it can smell. That's why when I see ones online where they pop it and all that fucking huge amount comes out, and I don't know if you ever watched that, but I like watching those because I'm...
No, I'm not into that. But I know that that's a big thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people really like watching people pop cysts.
Yeah, zits, cysts, all that kind of shit. But yeah, I'm like, how the fuck can those people even be in the room? Like, and you see how much of that shit comes out. I'm like, that whole room has to fucking reek of it, considering how just a tiny, tiny bit fucking smells.
Oh yeah, they did like a little minor surgery on my neck where they just numbed the area and cut it out, and then stitched it up. It took like 2 stitches.
Right.
And so like as soon as they cut it open, it was just like, oh damn, that is not cool.
Right. Yeah, if it's not ruptured, it's actually not that bad because they can kind of cut the whole sack out or whatever you want to call it. But if it's ruptured, man, holy shit. Yeah, it gets fucking disgusting.
It wasn't ruptured, but man, did it stink.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But it
guess
was
no
a big
matter
old
no matter
fucking
what.
bump on the side of my neck, so I'm much happier with the little tiny scar that
Yeah.
I got.
Yeah, no, I've seen them because some of them, all they have to do is just a little hole punch and they can get it out. But yeah, some of them they have to actually cut in and fucking pull it out. It's not. That's I don't know. Maybe that's why I like watching them because it's really crazy how because they'll actually shoot the Novocaine in, but they also shoot in like a liquid to kind of puff it up somehow. I don't know what the thing is, but yeah, it gets all swolled up and then they cut it from there. Yeah, it's really I don't know. Well, I'm guessing it wouldn't be interesting to you, but fucking I find
I
it
can
so
watch regular
interesting.
surgeries. That just the weird like cyst stuff doesn't appeal to me.
Right, right.
But I've
No, I
watched
love
like
watching.
like lung
Yeah.
surgery, heart surgery, all that stuff. I'm totally down with that. It doesn't bother me.
No,
And
I
to be
love
fair,
watching
those
that.
don't bother me either. I just like,
You just don't have any interest in it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, see, I love that shit, like pimple popping or fucking cyst shit. Jiggers. Have you ever seen jiggers? That's fucking gross, but I like watching that too. It's in
Are those like
Africa.
those are bugs, right?
Yeah, they're sand fleas, I guess. Kids in Africa get them because they go around barefoot all the time. But yeah, that shit's fucking gross, but I like watching that too. Bot flies. Holy shit, dude. The bot fly larva in a fucking person, that shit's fucking crazy. Because it's a pretty big fucking thing, dude. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about or no?
I've heard of it.
Okay, a bot fly is well, whatever. It's a big fly, but in the larval
Yeah.
stage, it's a little what do you call it? Not a worm quite, but it's kind of like a worm, like
Like
a
a
fat
maggot.
worm. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
but it's
maggot.
huge. But a botfly one is huge, dude. Like it's a good fucking, but inch, 2 inches, up to 2 inches long, and probably a good inch around. And they get
Oh
into the
shit.
fucking skin, and yeah, and then like the top part like is barely poked out, and breathe or whatever. But yeah, they'll be literally eating in your skin, and you see them pull one of them out. Like that's fucking weird because you're like, how? Because they'll have them in their like people will have them
Okay,
in their
that
fucking.
creeps me out.
The people will have them in their scalp, dude. And I'm like, how the fuck did that thing fit in there? Like, was it eating this person's brain? Like, it wasn't because there's, the fucking skeleton, the fucking skull. But you're like, how did that thing fit in there? And you can't, like
Maybe
when they
the
pull them
skin
out.
tension just flattens it out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, or they're just kind of sideways once they're underneath. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's yeah, they have to pull them out really slowly, and they have like these barbs that kind of face backwards to help them stay in there. So like you can easily end up ripping them if you pull it out too hard, too fast.
So what happens if you rip it? Does it die or does it just grow another tail?
Yeah, no, I think it dies, but it also is going to infect your wound because it's a pretty good sized hole that it fucking.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I figured that much. I was just curious as to whether or not the thing fucking died or not. Like,
Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure it did. And
I imagine they have to fucking then they have to cut in and cut all the parts out and make sure it's all like fucking
all clean, all
cleaned up and
septic,
abraded and stuff.
antiseptic. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, no, I've seen some of the some really nasty one. There was a fucking monkey, good sized monkey that was infested with these things, dude. And I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe there was this many, and this thing was still alive because he had like a good 20 or 30 of them in him, dude. Of these inch long, fat, fucking wormy things, dude.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a video now. You're gonna have to fucking watch it.
Nah, it's all right, dude. I'm good.
I know, dude. I'm not gonna do it.
Nope.
I wouldn't fuck with you like that.
Send me the video you want. I'm just saying I ain't gonna watch
it. No, I got that impression from you. I was just fucking with you, dude.
What is it? I watch a lot of animal rescue videos.
All right.
My favorite channel is Hope for Paws. I just think it's neat that people go out and like actually, help these like stray animals that people just leave. Because most of them are people's like pets that they just left when they moved.
Oh wow!
And then they ended up like living out in fucking like fields and railroad stations or fucking construction yards or, living in a neighborhood or whatever in South LA.
Yeah, and it's pretty crazy how they managed to survive out on the streets and shit.
Yeah, they rescued this dog off the side of the road that unfortunately didn't make it because it was literally like covered in ticks.
Yeesh.
And it had like a few hundred ticks that it attached on, and it unfortunately wasn't able to survive. Like they even gave it a blood transfusion.
Wow, still couldn't
and
make
still,
it.
It sucked
Poor
too much
thing.
blood out. It was cold. They had to put it down.
Yeah, poor thing, dude. But yeah, no, it's crazy how that shit can fucking happen, man. Yeah, I don't know why I enjoy that shit. It's weird.
So what do the botflies eat? Do they just eat your blood or your flesh or something?
Basically your flesh, yeah. Yeah,
oh, wow.
They drill a hole right in, dude. They're like a little corkscrew type thing, dude.
You'd think they'd hurt like hell.
Yeah. Yeah, no, people they don't really notice it for some reason.
Oh, I wonder if they secrete like a natural like painkiller or something.
Yeah, it could be. I've never really researched that. But yeah, you basically have to try to, if you want to try to get it to back out, you kind of have to cover the hole because then it'll back out because it can't breathe. It has to breathe or whatever. But for the most part, you pretty much have to just slowly, methodically pull it out.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane.
Sort of like how you actually are supposed to remove ticks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because there's all these weird things that I've heard about removing. All these weird things I've heard about removing ticks that aren't true. Like people like blow out a match and put the match on the back of the tick, or fucking turn it counterclockwise or clockwise or something like a screw.
Right.
Which that one seems to me like just the dumbest fucking idea ever because you're just gonna rip its head off, which is what you don't want.
Yeah, because as long as the head's there,
and just really slowly tug on it until it eventually the head comes out.
Yeah, because apparently if the head's in there, it's going to grow back, right? Is that correct?
No, you get an infection.
Oh, okay. I'd heard
the head's in there. Like once you kill it, you take the head off. I don't think so. Let me check on that. That might. I don't know.
Yeah, no, maybe I could be mistaken too.
Let's see if it ticks. Head breaks off.
It says myth here.
Grow back.
No, okay, that's a myth. It looks like from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Absolutely, it actually says in big capital letters. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm saying the same thing. The ticked off one, TM, ticked off trademark. Yep. Yeah. Okay. See, misconception that, but that's a pretty common one. Like most people think that, dude.
Yeah.
Or not most people necessarily, but a lot of people.
Yeah, I've never had a tick. I'm very happy about that. I've never had a tick.
Yeah. No, me neither. But it's crazy. Like you've seen the before and after, right? When a tick is like full, as opposed to what it looks like before. Big. Yeah, they're all fat. Like all you see is just a tiny little spot where a tiny bit of its leg sticking out. And before that, like it's all tiny with just like it's small, but it's still you can see pretty well defined legs. And then, hold on. Oh yeah, I can't really screen share, but. Yeah, it's just weird to see how does it get that fat? How does it go from that fucking little tick to being that fucking fat? It amazes me, dude.
How they fill up, man? They fill up with that blood, that good blood.
But yeah, I just don't understand. Like, I don't know of any other animals that fucking or insects or whatever.
Mosquitoes do that. They get big. They're not as big of a change, but they get bigger.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I can understand bigger. I just can't understand going from a tiny little tick to looking like a fucking grape, like swelling up to almost like the size of a grape.
Well, don't ticks basically they just sort of fall on stuff, right? Like they climb up trees and then jump off when they smell things or whatever.
Yeah, or they'll hang out like in tall grass. They'll hang out on a grass thing, and then if an animal of any kind comes by, they'll watch by. Yeah.
Because I had one land on my hand, but it didn't obviously I didn't let it fucking bite me. I brushed it off right away, but
yeah.
And it fell out of a tree on my hand when I was riding a bike when I was a kid, and I was like, freaked out and got rid of it. But I've never had one actually bite into my skin.
Yeah, me neither. But yeah,
it's like black widows are a big thing in California. That's black widows and rattlesnakes. Those are the two big poisonous things, and I've never been confronted with either of those in any dangerous situation.
Yeah, Black Widows are. I fucking hate those things. They're fucking. I think I just hate the fact that something so small can scare me, dude. You know what I mean? Like it's just this tiny little fucking spider. Well, it's a decent size for a spider. It's a big body and shit, but still, it's a spider. It's not that big, and I just hate being terrified of something that small.
That's pretty fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, or brown recluses, those scare me more than fucking Black Widows, dude.
Oh yeah, we
Just
get those.
because of the
I've had to kill a bunch of those.
Yeah, you've seen the pictures though, right? Of like what it does to a person's skin, like how it eats away at their skin.
It looks like a bullseye wound, right? Or is that the Black Widow?
Yeah, no,
it looks like a big bullseye.
Actually eats away at it, dude. It's like a fucking almost the way an acid would eat away.
Oh yeah. Eventually, I'm just saying at first it looks like a big bullseye.
Oh yeah, no,
it's this big round thing with like this weird center dot that's off colored, and it looks like a bullseye on your skin. And then if you don't get it dealt with, then it starts to eat away at everything.
Yeah, and it can really eat away at it, man. I've seen some fucking horror pictures of that shit, man. Yeah, it's really crazy how a little fucking spider can fuck something up like that. But yeah, they got a lot of those here. What else? Those are mostly for spiders. It's just the Black Widow and the brown recluse. Yeah, obviously.
Well, you got scorpions. Like I've never had to deal with scorpions. That does not sound fun to me.
No, and they're everywhere, man. They're fucking everywhere out here. Yeah.
See, now I will never be in Arizona for any reason.
Yeah, although again, I've been here since I was 10. I've walked around barefoot a shitload of times, and I've only gotten stung once. So it's not. It's they avoid you.
Like a fucking 10-foot tall fucking bunker, like it's fucking hermetically sealed, like fucking shining like flashlights and fucking those little dental mirrors into my fucking shoes every morning before I put them on.
No, I still do that. Like even if my shoes have been inside, like if I haven't worn them for a bit, I will like kind of crunch it down and fucking look and make sure there's nothing in there. Which is probably why, because I definitely know people who have tried to put shoes on and gotten stung by scorpions. It definitely happens. That is not a myth.
Oh, it reminds me of this Far Side cartoon where there's these two scorpions talking, and one of them looks all freaked out. And it shows like a dead body in the background. You just see like a dead body with one shoe on and like one bare foot.
Oh, wow.
And there's one scorpion that looks freaked out is saying to the other one, he's like, I don't know what the fuck happened, man. I'm in this cave and this 5-headed monster come at me.
Nice. I love the Far Side, dude. This shit's so funny.
Oh yeah, I've still got some of the Far Side books like sitting out in my garage still that I go back and read every once in a while.
Yeah, and
like the Calvin and Hobbes. I got a bunch of those books out there that I'll occasionally go back out and read.
Yeah, I was never as into the Calvin and Hobbes, but I definitely like the Far Side. That shit was so fucking bizarre, dude. Just fucking hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, what's the other one with the penguin and Bill the cat?
Oh, Doonesbury.
Doonesbury, yeah, I've read a couple of big books of Doonesbury stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's not Doonesbury.
No, it's Opus or something like that. What the fuck is the name?
Yeah, Opus or something.
Oh man, cat. That's the one that has the Hunter S. Thompson ripoff, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Oh, it is called Opus. Yeah, you're right. Opus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a couple of big books of
Opus,
Opus
I believe. Yeah. I heard Hunter S. Thompson almost wanted to sue for that character.
Oh, that's hilarious. I don't know why you would.
Yeah, no, it would be kind of weird because it is kind of flattering. You know what I mean? But the character's name, because the character's name was Uncle Duke. And when Hunter S. Thompson would write something that was particularly scathing, like kind of fucking really out there, he would do it under the handle of Raoul Duke as a kind of a pseudonym. So it was fairly obvious. That's what they were doing.
You can't go after somebody for a parody though.
Yeah, no, I think back then maybe you could have, but yeah, the way things are now, definitely no fucking way. If they considered it slanderous, I think that was the whole thing. Oh, hey, you're showing me doing a bunch of drugs and shit, and like, well, what do you do in real life? Like that's what.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not going to work for Hunter S. Thompson, because
yeah. Try finding somebody on this fucking planet that doesn't know that back then. Yeah, like again, probably not as many people know who he is nowadays, but back then, people were aware of him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody fucking knew.
Yeah.
That's why they liked him.
Yeah,
it was this crazy fucking desert dwelling fucking druggie that just fucking writes crazy shit.
Yeah. I was a fan. I read all kinds of his shit. He was definitely one of the people that because I tend to get obsessed with a particular author. It's happened quite a bit. Poe, fucking Asimov, Kurt Vonnegut.
That's what I got to read next. I got to get a bunch of Kurt Vonnegut books and some fucking Hunter S. Thompson books because I've never really read their stuff.
Yeah, I probably have a bunch laying around, but no, I got so into it that it was like I would read fucking books of his correspondence, like even just his fucking letters, to and from people were fucking really interesting to me.
Wow, that's a little on the weird side.
Yeah. Well, if you read them, they were interesting enough for somebody to put it in book form.
Well, it is Hunter Thompson too, so I'm sure there was some fascinating things that he talked about.
Yeah, and just the way he fucking talked.
We're not talking like Edgar Wright, like the architect. We're talking about somebody who was a much more fascinating character.
Yeah, and he would just say some, again, wacky, weird shit. So. But yeah, no, there's been a couple of volumes of just his fucking letters. Because he would always have a carbon copy of anything he fucking wrote. When he was typing a letter out to somebody, he would always have a carbon copy of it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Or maybe not always, but almost always. Pretty much.
I wonder if it was just because you might have an idea and type something else or something, and you just don't want to lose it kind of deal.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his rationale was, but he definitely did it for many, many years. But yeah, no, like I said, it's I'll have to see because I know I've had a bunch of his books, like the Rum Diaries and fucking obviously Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. The Hell's Angels, I think, was one of the first ones I read of his, because that was the first one that kind of put him on the map. Was writing about the Hell's Angels back in the fucking sometime in the '60s. It must have been. Late 50s, early 60s.
Huh.
But yeah, he's the one that kind of put the Hells Angels on the map as far as, they were pretty well known, but as soon as his book came out, it kind of exploded on him. Yeah. And that was way before, again, Fear and Loathing. Because it's kind of interesting to see, and that's another thing that's kind of interesting with the correspondence, is to see, how Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas came about. Because he basically had started with this idea of writing a book on the death of the American dream, and it ended up turning into Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas somehow. Because you've seen the movie, right?
A long time ago.
Okay, well, there's that part where he's talking about we can't leave now. We found the main nerve. This is it, and that's what they're talking about is referencing is the death of the American dream.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the dream that's going to die over and over and be reborn in a different way over and over.
Yeah. But back then, it was just kind of an albatross that kind of hung around his neck is the fact that he couldn't write this book. And, and it took him years and years and years, and then it ended up never really happening. I was
talking about the death of the American dream, but never mind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, the ideal of it definitely fucking dies and is reborn as another ideal.
Yeah.
What the fuck that means.
So I was going to say, right now, the American dream is to be like a YouTuber or like a fucking celebrity, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas it used to be famous. Like being a big businessman kind of thing. Like it's changed, like what people seem to think of as being the most successful.
Right. Yeah, that's constantly evolving for sure with the society and whatnot and all that junk. I don't know what that means.
Well, and what kind of jobs are realistic? Owning your own business now is much less realistic. Being a fat cat at a corporation is much more realistic than owning your own business.
Yeah, actually trying to start something as a small business and actually succeeding. Yeah, incredibly fucking difficult nowadays. Although Trump's making it easier, apparently, but still.
Well, I mean, everybody's flipped on that one. That is interesting, like the tax cuts. I keep hearing misinformation.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like he cut all of the teachers' claims that they could make, and it's like, no, he reduced the amount they can claim.
Right.
And I don't necessarily agree with that, but I mean, let's be honest about what happened. He basically cut in half the amount they could claim it as business expenses, essentially.
Right.
But he also cut a lot of other stuff that other people were abusing in the same stroke. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, he seems to want to fucking do a good job, and I fucking give him the benefit of the doubt for the most part.
Oh, Matt Metal says he can attest to the truth of it being hard for small businesses. Yeah, I really want to see if anybody gets tax cuts and cuts in regulations, it should be small business.
Yeah, and I think that's what he's done. From what, and again, I heard it from Sticks, and I kind of don't fact check Sticks. You know what I mean? Like I probably should.
I've looked into the taxes. I've looked into the taxes a lot and watched as they've changed here and there, but for the most part, it's gonna create a boom no matter what. It should help small businesses, but I think most of it was to help corporations, which I don't agree with. But they are bringing back a lot of jobs too. So if it means we're going to get more manufacturing jobs back in the U.S. with these corporations, even though I don't like corporations, that the manufacturing jobs at least are more of an opportunity for people with zero education to get into like the middle class,
right,
or at least pay for their kids to go to college.
Yeah.
And they can get into the middle class. I mean, it's one of the things that created a lot of mobility was manufacturing.
Right. No, it makes sense, dude. Yeah. Well,
I mean,
that's the thing is Trump gets it, man, and he's a businessman. He fucking understands the shit pretty well. So, you know what? I really fucking wonder. You go back to Obama. Like, what if Obama and Trump both had just mostly objective coverage of what they were doing and how things were going? But it's not, obviously. It was two fucking opposite ends of the spectrum. Like Obama could do no wrong and fucking Trump can do no right. But I really wonder how things would have fucking turned out if shit was just objective for both of them. Like how if the media, sorry, I didn't say media, but like if the media coverage of them was just mostly objective, how shit would look right now. Like, does Obama get a second term? Does Obama even get a second term if he didn't do such a great job of fucking courting the media and courting Hollywood?
Yeah, no, I honestly don't think he would have, because he made all these promises that he didn't follow through with in any respect at all. Trump has so far done exactly what he said he was going to do.
Yeah, he's followed through on a fucking.
I'm going to come in. I'm going to put a ban in place. He came in. He put a ban in place. I'm going to cut taxes. He's cutting taxes. He wanted to end the mandate of Obamacare. He ended the mandate of Obamacare.
Mm-hmm.
He says he wants to build a wall. At this point, I think we're going to get a fucking wall.
Right.
I think it's going to start being built within the second or third year. I think it was delusional for people to think he was going to get in office and a wall was going to go up like the next week.
Yeah, that
was delusional.
Unrealistic to say the least. Yeah.
I think we're going to get a wall. It's going to be chain link in some areas, depending on the situation. It's not going to be like the Great Wall of China.
Right.
That's not a realistic expectation.
Yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be thicker where it needs to be, and where chain link works pretty well. It'll be chain link. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're at like a border crossing, you don't need a big, thick concrete wall. You need chain link fences where everybody can see where everybody's going.
Yeah, where it's easy to see somebody going over it, and you're like, hey, go get that. Yeah,
but it should be fascinating to see what happens, because Trump had really said, this is what I'm going to do, and then he went in and was like, and just started doing it.
Yeah, and then that's the thing is the numbers on the economy seem to be looking really fucking good.
Oh yeah, stock markets are up and all that shit. I mean, it's been a pretty boom year for a lot of people. This is the first year in a decade that the nonprofit I work for gave out Christmas bonuses.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So when you work for a nonprofit, you do not get a Christmas bonus. That is not normal.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man.
The first 2 years I worked there, they gave out a Christmas bonus. The first one was 1%, and the second one was like $50.
Mm.
And then they went back to giving out a 1% bonus this year.
Nice.
So it's pretty nice. Yeah, it was a couple $100 because I work part time. I don't make a lot there, but
Right.
a few $100 is still better than fucking nothing.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
And for a nonprofit, that's pretty unheard of. That's extremely uncommon.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Sometimes you might get like a turkey or a chicken or something, or not a turkey or a ham. I don't know why I was saying chicken. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, this isn't Japan, buddy.
Yeah. But sometimes they'll give you like a turkey or a ham around the holiday season, just as like a nice thing, because it's like they'll get it for like $20 or $30 because they're buying like 40 or 50 of them at once.
Yeah. Something nice.
But it's a nice gesture and it's appreciated. Nobody's going to be like, oh, a ham, that's awful.
Right.
Except a Muslim.
Yeah, or the vegans. The
vegans, yeah. But you can always make a little, figure something else out for those people. It's not that hard for the one or two that are not into that. But yeah, it was really nice. But and so that to me says like the economy is doing better more than anything else I can think of.
Yeah.
Because if nonprofits are handing out bonuses, it must have been a good year.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's getting no credit for it, essentially, dude. Or very few places are reporting on how well the economy and all this shit is doing, dude.
Well, and like I can attest to one thing, like the Democrats, especially in California, fucked over manufacturing, because I used to work. I was testing, but it was an assembly place, and I was doing like the product testing essentially.
Quality control guy.
It wasn't quality control, as in you're not just looking at the product and making sure it worked. I was actually making small changes to the product in order to make it work correctly.
Oh, gotcha. I gotcha.
So I was making sure that it worked within a certain range of tolerances, like it worked at hot temperatures, cold temperatures. I was working with microwave transmitting technology stuff. So I was basically making sure that it worked at extreme hot and extreme cold and stayed within a certain frequency range the whole time.
Oh, gotcha.
And so we would actually manipulate the product. I'm being careful because I actually have a non-disclosure agreement with that I signed, so I can't.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and it was really good. It was really good paying work. Like it paid really well, and they were a great company. But the taxes got out of hand, and they just were like, we gotta move to another state.
Yeah, no, I can see that in California with their communist tendencies to fucking want to abuse the any of the manufacturing shit and give it to the poor people automatically. Yeah, no, I can imagine.
It was ridiculous. I mean, like the guy was a pretty good boss. I mean, there was some stupid shit that they did and whatever, but you're gonna get that at any job. I mean, they paid really well, and they really did treat their employees pretty good.
Yeah, but they got ran out of the state, right? And went to Nevada, taxes, right?
Yeah, they went to Nevada, so state taxes, and I was making enough there to live off of no problem with just the one job.
Nice.
But it was the one thing that was different probably about that, than most jobs, but this is manufacturing in general, was you could work up to like 60 hours a week if you wanted.
Yeah.
So I could go home, I worked 50-hour weeks. So I'd go and work like a 10-hour day, which really at the end of the day isn't that different from working 8.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And you still get your weekends, and you still get to go do whatever you want on Saturday and Sunday, and you get the whole weekend off.
Right.
So
adding 2 hours to your day, to your work day, doesn't make much difference during those days. And again,
and I would start at like 5 a.m. So essentially, I would just go to sleep early on Sunday night through Thursday night, get up early, and be able to like fucking get out of there at like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
So I'd get in there at 5 a.m., leave 5 p.m. Or no, I'd leave at 3 p.m. Actually, that's right. Because I only work 10-hour days, not 12.
Right.
But so I'd still have plenty of the time in the evening when I could go do stuff with friends and fucking do my chores and shopping and all that shit.
Yeah, no, I did the same with when I worked for Liberty Mutual. I would just go in there's certain times a year that's busy. So like those times a year, I'd go in like an hour early, stay an hour later, And it didn't seem that much difference because, again, you're just used to being a little bit longer in the morning, or it's a little bit longer in the morning, a little bit longer in the afternoon, but only an hour on either side, so it didn't seem that different. But again, that adds up to fucking an extra 10 hours of fucking work quickly.
But the other thing is you get paid overtime for that 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, although ours was a little weird because our regular schedule was only 37.5. We worked 7.5 hour days. But yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
But for mine, it was like working an extra part-time job on the side, even though I only spent an extra 10 hours at work.
Yeah, exactly.
It came out the equivalent of working like a 20-hour side gig.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was bringing home like, you know, anywhere in the course of a week, I would bring, you know, a paycheck, which was every 2 weeks ish. It was like half, you know, like the half you could pay at the beginning and the middle of the month.
Mm-hmm.
So I would bring home anywhere between like, you know, $2,000 or $1,500 to $2,000 a month easily.
Right.
And if I wanted to earn more, I could. And this is just manufacturing. So it wasn't like I was, you know, some college graduate or some shit.
Yeah.
And so like that's a fairly easy way to work your way into going to classes. You can work your way out of the lower class in that kind of job fairly easily.
Yeah, manufacturing or sales, obviously you generally don't need a lot of experience for that. Yeah, those two are huge, man.
Yeah, I started going to college when I worked at that job because it was like, oh yeah, I don't really want to do this forever, so because it's boring. It's not that it was hard or bad work; it was just boring.
Yeah, no, I remember working in a factory, and I couldn't do it, to be honest with you. Although what you were doing may have been different, but what I was doing was so fucking monotonous that a fucking 8-hour day literally felt like about 14 hours to me.
So you were like fucking Joe versus the volcano kind of work, where it looks like Tom Hanks, like in the beginning of the movie, looks like he just fucking he wants to die so bad because it's just so fucking it never ends.
Right. Yeah, it was bad. I only did it for like a few months, but yeah.
Where I worked, it was quiet, so you could just bullshit with the people you worked with, just sit and chat all day long while you're doing your work, no big deal. Or you could just sit with your headphones on, listen to radio, whatever you want to listen to. And the monotonous actually was kind of nice with that respect because you didn't have to really think about what you were doing. Your hands just sort of did the work.
Right.
And you could just be like banging on the music or fucking having a good time bullshit with your buddies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and honestly, I might have been able to handle the shit better at this point, but like that was when I was like maybe 18, and I just didn't have the fucking the patience or what do you call it? I couldn't sit still like that at that age. I was fucking hyper, dude. I just couldn't do it.
No, I don't blame you at all. Yeah, that would be pretty tough. I think I was 19 when I was doing it. 19, 20. I moved out with my friends and I was living on my own. It was pretty nice, man. We were all fucking renting a house together. And so it was pretty cool. I mean, it was worth it in the respect that I could pay rent and I didn't have to fucking live with my parents.
Right. That's always a bonus.
But like that's the kind of gig that hopefully they're bringing more of those back because for a lot of people that's the only way they're going to get out of being a lower class.
Yeah.
You know, like right now it's like McDonald's, and McDonald's really isn't going to help you get a fucking education because they don't fucking want you to.
Yeah.
That doesn't benefit them if you go to college. They want you to fucking keep working there.
Yeah, they want you to fucking be stuck there for fucking life. Yeah, or Walmart, probably the same thing, I would imagine.
Well, and right now, that's really the only kind of jobs that are out there for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. Although, again, like I said, Trump seems to be doing a pretty good fucking job at it.
Yeah. Well, and the more of those manufacturing jobs, the more small businesses can open up because there'll be more people with money to spend. So,
right.
You'll get more variety of stuff going on, which should be good for everybody.
Yeah. It would be nice if the media would report on it honestly, dude. It's fucking ridiculous, you know. Like, and although it is getting to the point where everybody is kind of seeing what the fuck they're doing, so that's kind of nice. But yeah,
well, I mean, they're talking about
die. All the fucking media outlets just die and be replaced.
what's really funny is they're constantly on him about Twitter, and it's because when he talks on Twitter, he's telling people what's really up, and people don't believe him anymore, and that's I think why they're always being like, and now he's getting on Twitter and saying this, and isn't that awful? And like the dummies there and go like, oh, that's terrible, but anybody with half a brain is like, yeah, because none of you fucking tell the truth.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to fucking hear it filtered through your fucking media bias lens, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care if you're, watching Fox or CNN, because those are the two real extreme right and left. Like, they're both lying to you.
Yeah, yeah. You think CNN is worse than like MSNBC at this point?
I don't know. It's the one my dad always watches that I see.
Yeah, no, CNN's really bad, but I thought MSNBC was the one that was kind of the worst leftist leaning.
Well, I mean,
either way, it doesn't matter. It's not that essential. My apologies.
They're still going on about. I guess both of them probably are. They're still going on about Russia and this and Russia that.
Yeah. Although now it's kind of flipped to having to cover it for Obama and Hillary and them, right? Like fucking. Yeah. They actually did shit wrong.
They legitimately committed acts of treason.
Yeah, exactly.
Selling the uranium to Russia is treasonous.
Yeah.
Keeping the police from busting these drug rings in order to achieve political ends is treasonous. Like that's.
Yeah, or was it are you talking about the Hezbollah stuff, or are you talking about something else?
Well, I thought he allowed them to sell drugs and stuff in exchange for like missiles.
Well, there was a thing
stuff like that.
Yeah, apparently there was one where he basically had them kind of stand down and not prosecute shit. Prosecute some of the fucking people that were dealing the drugs over there, just to get in good with like Iran and yeah, it was fucking crazy, dude. Like, that's
treasonous. It's directly treason.
Yeah. I would be it would be so satisfying to see any of these fucking people actually serve time for committing such fucking crimes, dude.
Mad Metal Man, the uranium of peace, guys. Hitler didn't do nothing.
Nice.
Yeah, but I mean that shit is just like you see that on the news all the time. Like they just keep trying to like cover for the two criminals and trying to make stuff up about Trump. And I mean, like you can see like the level of some of it, like the stuff where he's like peeing on someone's bed or something, or peeing on a supermodel. Or
although people believe that shit too, man. Like again, don't you say your parents are kind of like that? Like they kind of buy.
Oh no, my parents still think that Russia did the whole election. The whole election was because of Russia. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, see, that's what sucks. People are that fucking blinded by their ideologies, man. And obviously, it's not just your parents. It's fucking millions and millions of people, both ways, to be honest. But it does seem like the leftist-leaning ones are more delusional. But again, that just could be my, influenced by my position too. So.
Mad Metal, he's been waiting for 20 years for the Clintons to eat shit, still hoping. I think we're all going to be waiting for that for fucking ever. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, well, I think I don't know that Hillary's going to last much longer, dude. Both of them are looking pretty rough lately, dude. Like, I don't think they're going to live long enough to fucking be prosecuted. Obama might, though. It would be fucking so satisfying.
Yeah, Bill and Hillary are it's all the cocaine and fucking little kids that they're eating that's doing it to them, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they eat nothing but like baby meat,
Right. Yeah, that's fucking crazy, dude. What if that were fucking true, dude?
Seriously, like, I don't doubt that there is some form of child prostitution going on in politics.
Yeah.
I think it's harder to believe that there isn't. Like, I don't think Pizzagate is necessarily an accurate representation of what's going on.
Yeah.
But I would be some people dealing in underage prostitution.
Yeah. Well, you've seen. Do you remember the fucking the emails they released where they were talking about fucking hot dogs being fucking great and fucking hot? But it sounded really bizarre. Like, you guys aren't talking about hot dogs. Like, I was
the thing is, they could have been talking about just regular whores. It doesn't necessarily mean they were talking about little kids. Like, everybody wanted it to be one thing, but That could also just been prostitutes. It could have not necessarily been anybody underage.
That's true. But hot dogs would be a weird one to go with females at all. But you never know.
Well, no, I mean
it's a code. It doesn't necessarily have to make sense.
There are male prostitutes too.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, you got to be specific, dude.
Yeah, well,
I forget these things.
When I'm talking about prostitutes, I mean male and female.
Okay.
It would shock me if there aren't underage prostitution going on in a big bad way in that, because generally when you have that level of power concentrated in an area, the level of corruption is insane.
Right. Well, who was the dude that made it all the way to Speaker of the House that ended up going to jail for fucking like child molestation or whatever?
I don't remember, but I mean a lot of that stuff it's pretty insane.
Yeah, I forget the name, but literally somebody that was Speaker of the House or maybe Minority Whip or whatever the fuck, but they were fucking high up there in the Senate, and they fucking went to jail for whatever, child sex, child trafficking, whatever the fuck it was, something along those lines.
I know, I get what you're saying. Yeah. It's different in every state. It's like in some states it'll be called this, and some states it'll be called that, and it's like lewd acts with a child in one state, inappropriate acts with a minor in another state. Yeah, it just depends on the state. Sexual congress with an underage individual, like they come up with all these weird things instead of just calling it like kitty fiddling. Like you're fucking kids. Oh, it looks like you can talk from the back of this microphone, like it's an all-around area mic.
Right. Let's see. I'm trying to find out who the dude was I was talking about. Is it Dennis Hastert? Is that who I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
No, that's not. I don't think that is. All right. Well, I'll look it up later. It doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, or the fucking the dude from Penn State. He was defensive coordinator at a fucking one of the top fucking football programs in the country for college. Dude was raping kids.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I don't know why his name's also escaping me. I've heard it enough. But yeah, I mean it's crazy how prevalent it seems to be, man. It's kind of like people don't want to talk about it because it's an uncomfortable subject, but it appears to be a lot more prevalent than anybody wants to think. And especially in Hollywood, especially in fucking Washington, and entertainment and in politics, it seems to be disproportionately high percentage of people are involved in that fucking sick shit.
Yeah, I know. It's insane, but I don't know. It's a tough one. I don't know. It's so hard to figure out like what's real and what's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Sandusky was Jerry Sandusky was the name. Thank you, Mad Metalman.
Oh yeah, Sandusky for sure.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, he's bringing up the Alex Jones shit. Yeah, see, Alex Jones goes fucking crazy with some of the shit. But he has actually fucking been right about some shit. I have a theory about Alex Jones that he acts crazy to almost discredit himself and make these crazy claims, but then also puts out shit that's actually true. And there's some kind of code to figuring out what's actually true and what he's just being crazy about. You know what I mean? Like if he actually just straight put out shit and was constantly exposing the people and didn't look a little crazy, he'd probably be dead. They probably would have fucking. So it's almost like he might discredit himself deliberately so that they don't worry about him so much. And they're like, oh, he's just crazy. Nobody takes him seriously. But he's not always wrong.
That could be.
A secret evil genius. Yeah, could be.
Alex Jones is a weird dude, man. I don't know that I would really put anything really beyond that guy, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, and that's what I'm saying. Though, again, he could just be that crazy, you know. And honestly, that's probably the more likely thing. I'm just saying it might be possible that he's doing that for his own protection. The crazy, over the top shit might be just so that you know, not that many people take him seriously.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, he's also super paranoid too, so.
Yeah, it could be.
Is it just the regular run-of-the-mill paranoia, or is it, you know?
Yeah, is it an act, or is he? At this point, he probably is just that fucking paranoid. To be honest with you, so it might it might just be coming natural to him, and he might not be planning it. It just happens to work out that way. That is, you know what I'm saying? Like all the shit I just said could be true, but it might not be on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm wondering if my old microphone will work for Engelhardt right now. I was just like, I can just give him that microphone I had.
Yeah.
And then maybe he'll have a decent mic that works, because it don't work for me. You know, it's like a $20 microphone. It's not like I'm gonna fucking eBay it for a fucking profit.
Yeah. Yeah. Give it to Hearth. He's a good dude. Seems to be.
It's got a good stand on it. Yeah, I think I will.
Yeah.
Sure, he could use that.
Oh shit! Mad Metal Man said he actually met Alex Jones, talked to him for a few minutes. I almost missed that.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah. And dude, honestly, I want to believe the guy. He's so fucking Alex Jones. Like he has like that. Like he has a lot of charisma, dude. He really does. Like you want to fucking believe everything he says, or at least I do. Like when I actually listen to him, like I kind of want to believe him, like regardless of how crazy the shit is that he says. You know? Yeah, I don't know.
I think Alex Jones is a lot smarter than people give him credit for. Number one.
Right.
I mean, that dude's made a huge business off of like conspiracy stuff, and he's made mad cash. Like that dude's made super successful.
Yeah.
But number two, I think he really believes a lot of what he says. Like whether it's true or not, I don't know.
Right.
I think he genuinely believes a lot of what he talks about.
Yeah. No, I don't doubt it, but I think like I said, I think some of it might be made up, and I think he might know.
At the very least, there's definitely some exaggeration going on.
Right,
you know, like at the very least, you know, he's exaggerating some of it for like the entertainment effect.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't surprise me if he makes some of it up just as a standard, like, I don't want people to come after me kind of thing. And if I make up enough of this, then when I come out with the real stuff, yeah, some of the people that listen are going to believe that and it's going to get out there, but I'm not going to have to worry about blowback.
Yeah. So yeah, he's an interesting dude either way. Fucking
very entertaining.
Definitely entertaining, especially his fucking spurgouts. You're like, why are you? Like he seems too smart to do shit like that. You know what I mean? When he's fucking screaming, yelling, and ripping his shirt off and shit. Like he seems too smart to fucking do that shit.
That is pretty intense when he does that shit. That is definitely.
So that's why I suspect that he's just doing it to again slightly or to some degree discredit himself to again preserve his own life.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I just figured out how to put my new mic on my old mic stand, so. Everything's working out great.
Yeah. But yeah, Mad Metal Man now that he's got that conviction in his voice, dude. You just fucking want to believe him, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of this stuff is definitely exaggerated. Like, there is definitely some weird shit that goes on at, like, oh, damn it, now I can't think of the name. Bohemian Grove. There's some weird shit that goes on. But at the end of the day, it really is just a resort that people go to get, like, fucking crazy luxurious service, and they do like some weird rituals and stuff, but they're not fucking killing.
They're not serious. Yeah, they're not actually. Yeah, I assume it's like
if they were killing, like, think about it. If they were killing babies, how many people that work at that resort would have to be being paid off to ignore baby killing?
Yeah, that's.
I don't see that being very likely. You know?
Yeah. No, not to that. Definitely not to that extent. Could they be fucking underage boys? Yeah, that kind of shit's possible.
I could see that. That might be something that people don't care about. Maybe it's like 16-year-olds or something. So people like they're able to like fucking. Well, I get paid a lot, so I'll just ignore this. And they're 16. They know what they're doing. I can see people being willing to buy into that. But like fucking, oh yeah, that infant that they just fucking cracked its head open. That's totally cool.
Yeah, that's a lot tougher, man. Jesus. Eey. Crazy shit, man.
Yeah, I think it's coming up to an end, and my throat is, I think, done because I got another cold. So
yeah, I better pep out. I gotta pee pretty bad at this point. So let's do it. Cut it.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for coming in, Mad, and William and Jasmine. I think there was one other person here for a little bit, but they left. So
yeah, I think all you fuckers for sticking around. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys coming in. See you Sunday night, 10:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah. Bye-bye.